1 minute. Be sure to join Michael Brown this afternoon at 4 for more irreverent on
So you have everything. You're going to sit here today?
Yeah. Hey, are these yours? These were just sitting right here, and I think they were sitting there yesterday. Okay.
They're not mine, and they're the same brand as the in studios, so they've got to be studio.
So they were just sitting right there.
Okay.
Still working that wreck. No estimated time when the roadway will reopen. The weather forecast mostly sunny and hot today with a high near 99. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low 64. Tomorrow, still hot and with a high of 91. A slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Right now, a few clouds and 80.
And we are
weather. I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30 K-How. This report brought to you by State.
When it's time for last-minute changes to a big presentation, let Staples be your office away from your office with everything you need to print, scan, or fax. Access files from a USB, email, or the cloud, and use a self-serve machine to avoid waiting and get back to business. It's pro time.
Hey, did you hear my interview with Admiral James Stavridis? Or how about with Senator Mike Lee? Or how about the great conversations we had about Father's Day, bunnies in the garden, and forgiving people? Well, if you have a free iHeartRadio app, you could have caught all of it. The iHeartRadio app will let you keep in touch with me and your other favorite iHeart talk shows and music stations, and even create your own music station. And did I mention it's free? Go get your iHeartRadio app today, wherever you get your apps.
If you have a loved one who has a drug or alcohol problem, you need to contact Addiction Treatment Centers XL. Addiction Treatment Centers XL helps people who are addicted to alcohol, heroin, meth, opiates, cocaine, and more. They can help your loved one reduce cravings, go through minimal withdrawal, and get their life back. Plus, they offer 0% financing to accept private and commercial PPO insurance. Call Addiction Treatment Centers XL today at 303-520-8004. That's 303-520-8004. Or online at treatmentcentersxl.com.
You don't want to mess with the IRS. They have the power to garnish your paycheck, limit your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. That's all true. But thankfully, they're offering a way out. Start initiative. If you qualify, you can save you thousands. The experts at Optimum Tax Relief will fight to get you the best possible tax settlement. With the best business bureau to prove it. Call Optimum for your free consultation. Call 800-960-1575. 800-960-1575.
I'm watching one of my shows. Which one?
Everything.
Americans.
If
Good.
we move fast, maybe we're okay.
You want to kill him?
Did it allow residents
So far from here.
We don't have a choice, so
We can try to work.
it's insane.
There's like a buzz going. I don't know what it is.
What do you mean? You have
Just
a buzz?
even in the newsroom, they're kind of like all
What do you mean?
buzzed. Or phones are going off the hook. I don't know. It's just weird.
One person.
There's like a lot of shit going on.
It's better than losing.
I don't know why.
Ask Drew.
Or something's gonna go on.
Officer stabbed at airport. Which airport? Must be our CIA.
The intel from multiple sources. You can use it.
Flint City.
I know I'm not.
I don't even know where Flint City is. I've never heard of Flint City. It's got to be a tiny little airport.
Matter when I say, based on your reports, on the occasions you saw fit to make. Ross doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who responds violently. This is better than using those tapes.
Further strengthen
Yeah.
our cybersecurity generally and the cybersecurity around our democratic process.
I heard you were going to sit down with Jane's parents
House Intelligence Committee
this afternoon.
today. Johnson saying he believes
They have a lawyer.
Vladimir Putin directed the
We didn't kill
He
him.
agrees there's no
That
evidence
much we know.
were altered because of Russia's intrusion. Bishop Airport in Flint, Michigan has been evacuated after an officer was stabbed. Airport officials posted a Facebook message saying there's been an incident during which a police officer was injured. It adds that all passengers are safe and one person is in custody. The Michigan State Police Metro Detroit says the officer is in critical condition and the FBI is now on the scene. Federal investigators have released a new information on the man who shut up the congressional baseball practice last week. The FBI says a thorough background check of James Hutchinson revealed no mental health issues, but did reveal he had anger management issues. He also tested choices in Alexandria, Virginia, that held thousands of grants and initiatives to use the modified golf license. The Gulf Coast has 7 inches of tropical storm is approaching. Get ready for it. Experience of Katrina. They have recognized that the pumps that failed during Katrina will be backup with generators. So those generators.
What are you watching?
Oh my! I was just watching the rest of the part of this show that was getting so good. So
I haven't found a new one that I've been watching yet.
Mark, I have so many of them. I have to keep fucking track of them on a checklist. I love it though. It gives me a life away from work. It's a total escape.
Oh, you get into a good one. They're fucking unbelievable.
No, but to me, it's an escape. It helps. It keeps me healthy.
I know.
It keeps me working hard. And I mean, I'm telling you, you need diversion. Fucking diversion. That's why I have the helicopter, because 100% of my attention has to be kept on that helicopter.
Keeps your brain clean. I went through, the last one I got submerged in was
I got a good one.
fucking Game of Thrones, which you didn't like. I fucking couldn't
Never
stop.
got into it.
I could have watched it back to back if I didn't fucking like fall asleep and pass out.
You're the first guy, Tom, that I've heard that didn't like that. Some people, and I've never watched it.
And I thought it was quick too. I was caught first episode. So if you didn't like it first episode, I don't think it's one of these you acquire a
I
taste.
tried 4 episodes.
Fucking brutal.
I hated them.
I didn't really get into what's this with the zombie, The Walking Dead.
I got in and out of that.
Man,
1 or 2 seasons. The very first season I really liked, and then it kind of went downhill.
and that was like a water cooler show. They were talking about the next day at work, and
Oh, I love this thermostat. My kids hate it. All my thermostats are digitally locked, so I got to go in and change them. You know, Alexa now, actually I named my Alexa Echo. So Echo now plays all Sirius.
free?
No, of course not.
I like Google better.
Oh, I love Alexa. It connects to my TV.
I use Alexa at the house.
My Xbox. It connects to
I
everything.
use Alexa with Stephanie's house, and at my condo I use Google.
It's nice to set up when Ross is in here. You have plenty of time. Check everything.
There you go again.
But the camera's working this time. I was going to hardwire it. It didn't.
More amazing than usual. The ongoing nominated brothers, listing us in the Denver Post. They say they enjoy coming here. They're inspired.
Tim was in the elevator the other day. I think I'm really bonding with him now.
Who?
Tim.
Are you online?
Yeah.
Are we online?
Well, that's good.
He's on vacation, so. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I can't believe the Beatles wrote that.
One of the better songs.
I don't think they're that. I don't think they were that good of an artist.
Especially, She Loves Me, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yellow Submarine.
I agree.
They have great songs.
How about
The
everyone?
later one, She Loves Me, yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
Loves You.
She Loves You. That was a
And
good song.
It was beautiful.
How about the one that goes?
It was
The
beautiful.
White Album that goes, I can't even think of it. It's the oddest song I ever heard. It's just a bunch of mumble jumbo. Probably one of the worst albums ever put out.
Lennon and McCartney was one of the best songwriting.
I heard they could barely hold a sentence.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier today. Open lines. It's all yours. Let's talk about anything you want at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And then we will chime in with help, information, and referrals. You spread that word, because this show is all about help. That's what it's about. Helping people. That's really all it's about. You know, people don't get upset with us unless they perceive that we're unfair, or they perceive that we're not helping someone, or if you're in business and we attack your business, you may think we're unfair. We try to be totally fair when it comes to that. Then we also talk about issues of everyday life. It's almost like Seinfeld, a show about nothing, because it's a show about everything. It really is. Welcome. If you're just tuning in, new to Denver, I'm Tom Martino, a consumer advocate here for nearly 40 years. On TV, radio, and internet, and not so much TV anymore except for some commercials, and which I enjoy totally. Listen, we have some issues we want to bring up. One I want to bring up in a little while. I want to take some phone calls, but we're going to bring it up and ask for your opinion, okay? What's going on with Mindy? Mindy, what's happening with you?
Hi. So Thursday of last week, my husband was driving home from doing Uber and Lyft, which he does full time. Was in a car accident.
Was he in a car accident while doing Uber? Now, was he doing Uber or Lyft?
He was off the clock on his way home.
Which one does he do, Uber or Lyft?
Both.
Oh, I didn't know you're allowed to do both.
Oh, yeah.
Just you can't be logged into the same one.
Oh, they have to let you do both. Otherwise, you'd be considered an employee.
That's right.
Okay, so then what happened, Mindy?
So he was in a car accident from a lady who was reckless, pretty much.
Okay.
But the car needs to have repairs done. But my question is, can you go after, because the insurance company won't cover lost wages, can you go after a individual in small claims for loss of wages?
Sure you can. You're going to have to prove them. Well, you would sue them for the lost wages.
As Mark said, sure, meaning any loss at all. If you were carrying a milkshake and you spilled it, you can collect for the milkshake. I mean, I'm exaggerating. What I'm saying is you literally can sue for any loss. It's not just the damage to the car.
A perfect example of her husband's situation is a rental car. You realize if you wreck a rental car, you might have all the insurance in the world, but you still might have to pay loss of use.
So, what we're talking about is the victim determines the loss, not the situation. Let me give you another example, Mindy. If you have, let's say, a very delicate skull, I think there's a term called eggshell skull. People have
eggshell theory, yeah.
That where people can get hurt really easily on their head. And if you sustain major brain injury because you have an eggshell skull and someone else would not have sustained that, you can collect for the additional damage. And that's because there's a term in personal injury that you inherit, basically, the victim that you get. In other words, if you victimize someone who is more apt to be injured, you inherit that. In other words, you take your victims as you find them, or your participants. So whatever your husband lost, it just so happens if it was a minor accident to someone else, but to him, loss of income, yes, he can collect for that loss of income. But you have to do it. You have to do it. No one's going to voluntarily give it to you.
A defendant must take their victim as they find them.
Yeah, yeah. So when you go after them, you go after in small claims court. If it's $75 or $7,500 or under,
You should ask their insurance company, though, if you're dealing with them, to pay it to begin with. They might pay it.
I asked him yesterday, and she's like, well, she only has liability, so it doesn't pay it out. I'm like, okay.
Well, hold on. Whose insurance did you ask?
The lady who, because they're taking responsibility because of the accident.
No, you go after her directly.
Okay. Now, I had one other question.
And by the way, you would show receipts and show average daily income.
Yeah, why wouldn't, even if all they had was liability, Tom, why in the world wouldn't liability pay that? I mean, unless if it's over the limit.
It is a liability.
It's exactly what it is.
That's what I thought.
But they're saying she didn't have coverage for that kind of liability. It was probably property damage.
But my other question, too, is like, you know, like when you're in an accident, it depreciates the value of the vehicle.
Yes, that's
can
called.
I go after
yes, you can go. You can go for loss of use. Loss of value as well. There's times you can't go after loss of value. That's when it's written into a policy and you're trying to collect on the policy that you agreed to it. You agreed not to go after it. Most policies do not allow us to go after our own insurance company for loss of value. But if you are going after someone else, you can go after anything you want. Yes, you can go after. But what kind of car is it?
It's a 2013 Kia Optima.
And how bad was the damage?
There's about $3,500 cosmetic. They don't know.
There's not going to be any diminished
I don't think
value
you're
on
going
a 13 Kia.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have a lot of diminished value there. I don't think. I listen.
And it's a taxi.
Loss of income is your best bet right now. Go directly after her if it's $7,500 or under. You can go to small claims court. Don't sue the insurance company. Sue her. Make her bring her insurance company in.
Rent a car, get them back in it. There's your receipts.
Jenny, what's going on with you? Hello, Jenny.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Oh, I have a friend who does not speak very good English who got into contract with Rich Madera to do a basement.
Now, why Rich Madera? What does that mean? Rich Madera, is that his name?
That is the contractor's name.
Madera, okay.
Madera Development Group.
Madera Development Group, okay.
Yes. And he entered in a contract with him on March 9th of 2017, paid him $5,000 up front.
Oh, my God.
Total is $14,000. I know, I told him don't pay anything up front, but he did. Then Rich dug a hole in the backyard into by the house, wanted another $3,000, which he paid him, and then paid him another $895. Well, he hasn't been back. He came back for 1 or 2 days, did nothing. And
well, we had the contract. We had the Contractors Trust Act. You see, it used to be when you had a problem, like for example, you had a they do a little work and you had a problem. It made it a civil matter because the argument was, well, they had intention to start the work, it's not a ripoff, and they say it's a civil matter. Okay. But really, with the Contractors Trust Act, you still have a problem, even if they start the work. Because the Contractors Trust Act says that for every dollar you bring in for that job, it must be used for that job. It cannot be used for any other job. It must be held in trust for that job. If this guy cannot show that he has held that money in trust and has it for that job, and if he has not done $8,895 worth of work, then he's screwed.
Okay.
You know what kills me is if an attorney took your money and didn't hold it in trust like they're supposed to, they could get disbarred, they could get all kinds of trouble, but these contractors, no one seems to go after.
I know, and he's stuck now. The dirt's in the middle yard. It's killing the grass. It's up against the fence, so the neighbor's complaining, and he has no work done. And this is 3 months later. So I've talked to him, and now he says, "Well, you know, I guess I underbid the job. So if you give me another $4,000, we can come back in addition to the $14,000."
Now, is he saying that he's already done $8,000 worth of work?
And he has not.
Is that what he's saying?
He said, you can just get somebody else to come in and I'll just walk off the job.
So we need to evaluate what's been done.
Okay, a hole. That's it.
Truly, that's all they did was dig a hole.
Yep.
But we need to have somebody evaluate it, really, because if this guy's a crook, oh man.
He's told me 100 times he's so honest, And, you know, he's used the weather I don't know how many times. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to take this to the media. And he says, if you take this to the media, I'm walking off the job. Well, as far as I can see, he's walked off the job because he hasn't been back. So,
well, let's call him. Let's call him. I mean,
you.
but she needs to take action. Or Jenny, is it a he or she?
It's a he.
Is he elderly? Why are you calling for him?
Because he doesn't speak English very well.
He needs to take action. You need to go to the DA and
Okay,
talk
that's what
about
we
the
need to know what we
Contractors
need to
Trust
do.
Act. Unfortunately, a lot of offices of district attorneys, they're not.
Where's he live?
They're not aggressive.
His P.O. box is Castle Rock. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
and I
hold
just
on.
tried calling him.
You know, Douglas County.
They are one of the better.
Because of Brockler, George.
Okay.
George Brockler's office is pretty aggressive. I like him, and I hope, in fact, I would like to get George on the show one day to talk about the Contractors Trust Act and some of the things that they run up against and to give consumers advice. You ought to work through his PR people. I want to try to do that because that is a major importance, but you need to contact his office. And unfortunately, it takes sometimes more than one victim to get action, and I don't know why. It shouldn't. Suzanne, what were you going to say?
So I called, it rang, and then it says he's not taking messages right now. So I'm going to try texting him, Tom.
Sure. Meanwhile, let's call the district's attorney's office and ask what they do for Contractors Trust Act cases. And meanwhile, you call as well, Jenny, and stay in touch. Get information from Jenny so we can follow this up. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino, and I have to tell you something. This is the kind of thing we try to avoid all the time on this show. That's why I promote people like Genesis Total Exteriors, because he is a guy that will not cheat people. This guy is honest from day one. I've known him for years and years. So if you're doing any kind of home improvements whatsoever, including siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, roofs, kitchens, baths, basements, Genesis Total Exteriors, 303-679-8509, genesistotalexteriors.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
There's a couple of serious crashes. One in the Boulder area involving a car and a bus.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, honey. There's some serious injuries involved with that.
Are you being
avoid that area now. Also, still that bad crash being cleared. Highway 287 remains
Mark, is he
closed.
behaving?
Of course he is. Loveland and Longmont.
Just checking.
Also, looking out for wreck being reported westbound I-70 at Central Park, blocking the left
Well, I went
lane.
to Maryland.
And a crash south of
Right.
town, northbound I-25 there near Plum Creek. The weather forecast sunny and hot today with a high near 98.
Oh,
tonight,
of course.
Chance of thunderstorms and a low of 64.
It's on the
Right now,
2 year.
clouds are above
Come on, do it again.
54.
Did he
Did they tell you about how they fired our volunteer over some BS? I sent you something on it.
No, she did.
And what do you think?
I just feel sorry for Susan.
50% off mattresses and
And,
Get this out of the way.
did you want me to introduce you?
only a mattress.
This is Tom Martino.
Looking for floor
Mark,
coverings,
Tom
you want
Martino.
those big warehouse selections? I got
I mean,
it.
I'm
You
not,
want big
I
warehouse
read it and I
pricing?
went,
Got it.
yeah,
Paradigm
so.
Interior,
I
located
didn't
on
fire him.
just
Let's
west
just go ahead
of Santa
and
Fe.
insist on Grace and not give any, but,
The guy volunteers, not only for us, but for handicapped people, to make sure they have places to park when he's fulfilling his obligation and his oath. What do we do to reward him? What do Suzanne and Tom do to reward him? Kick his ass out.
like tile.
Unbelievable.
By the way,
Laminates and vinyl. And this new thing,
We will
luxury
talk about
vinyl tile,
But-
LVT.
isn't this the one, is this the one?
Yes,
Of the cost
One at a
of
time.
no.
Oh, is this the, has it, how long?
And it's waterproof.
Yes.
I urge you to call
No,
the
no,
guys,
this is an
Don
extra
and Matt,
one.
and their
Oh, this
team
one was
at
here, yeah.
Paradigm Interiors.
Good?
303
Can we lower that a little?
630-9204. 303-630-9204.
I'll tell you
Paradigm
the
Interiors on my referral list.
My sister could not land at Sky
Are
Harbor
you a
International
homeowner
Airport
who's
because
tired
it's so
of
hot.
paying mortgage insurance?
And Death Valley,
Yeah, you
127.
can't land or take off. They closed the airport. Did you know that when the density altitude
Phoenix,
is
I heard, 120 yesterday. For American, anyway.
What's the gambling city up by Death Valley in Arizona? Laughlin. Laughlin during the summer is generally closed from 11 a.m. till whatever, 6 p.m.
So why not let the salary-based
During the summer.
So, Mark, when you go there, you know, That's where I'm from. They have these misters now on the sides of the buildings when you're having lunch. It's like,
Chances are
this
American
isn't
finance.
doing
Yeah,
anything.
But by the time they hit you, it's not like you get wet.
It evaporates you, or you're
It's
just sitting
supposed to
there.
evaporate, because the byproduct of evaporation is cooling.
The casinos used to have those.
Well, not when it's 120 degrees.
No, but when it's dry and it's 120, you can get that mist.
Yeah, it's a,
You
it's
just sweat there.
a humidifier.
You know, people say it's a dry heat. I'm like, so is a blowtorch. I mean, what?
Do I need to call them or anything on that?
Did you guys have a nice vacation?
No, I'm handling Rich.
See, that looks very fresh and rested.
You're handling one?
Rich, the Madura development. Dan was asking if he needs to call. I said I got it.
It's, it was great. California was nothing like I thought, though. We went to Pismo Beach. It was 60 degrees, and at night 50. It was miserable.
Well, no, that's June gloom. You guys, that's always how it is in California. I know. People think it's going to be...
They check you for fruit when you enter the stupid state. They literally pulled us over and were checking for bananas. I had never seen anything like it.
Because you're going to bring in some sort of parasite or something?
I guess
I
their
was at
fruit
the
flies are
Starbucks
different.
and I sent Tom this warning that when we roast our beans, we produce, what is it?
Carbon? You guys leaving a carbon footprint now?
No, what was the warning that they have in the Starbucks?
Oh, yes, I don't know, but you're right.
Oh, Tom lost it.
What was it? What was
Some
it?
cancer-causing agent.
A carcinogen at Starbucks?
No.
They have to have a sign up there that when we, it's naturally occurring,
When they brew coffee?
do something, and we have to warn you about it, because California, they were pissed. California says we do, so here's the warning.
Was it only in California or here?
No, it's only in that place.
California is the dumbest city, or the dumbest state ever. It's ridiculous. Everything there costs more. You realize they just put another gas tax on last week, 12 cents more because they're going broke.
Well, they need to make it 3 states, I think. They need to do Northern, Southern, and Central California.
I agree. I agree.
Hey, I want to mention something, and I want your opinion, but you got to listen to the whole story. Now listen carefully. This is a serious thing here. I want you to listen to Bruiser. Brutus is off, Bruiser's in. People don't know the difference, but we do. Anyway.
Lord, do we.
Anyway, here's the deal. Handicap parking is a problem. I just want to say that right now. I am sick and tired of people misusing the privilege. I'm sick and tired of people using their grandmother's placard, their aunt's or uncle's placard, spouse, their spouse. No, really, I am sick and tired of it. And I want to say that right off the bat, that handicap parking should be for people who are handicapped. But I just want to give you some analogies. Let's just say a guy, literally, with no legs. This happened. I covered this on TV one time. With no legs, is in a truck, and he carries his wheelchair. He pulls into a handicap spot, but he doesn't have a placard. He gets out, goes to the store, comes back, and a police officer writes him a ticket. Now, technically, that police officer is correct, because you have to have a handicapped license to park there. He is technically correct. I covered this story. Just wait, Mark. But did he serve any good? No, because he saw the guy has no legs, and you know that just wait, Mark, he's not, honest to goodness, you can talk. He's not misusing the parking space. He's not. Okay, was he wrong? Technically, but what good was served? Nothing really. I mean, what is it? You're saying to the guy, we want to give you a ticket because we want to make sure there's ample parking for handicapped people, but you know he's handicapped. It's pretty obvious. Now, I want to give you a similar situation that we think.
But by the way, that example, hold on. Yeah. On that example, how about if that guy that did get the ticket, his other vehicle that his wife was in had his placard, and she was out using it, and she wasn't handicapped?
She should get a ticket.
Okay, but he let her use it.
No, but Mark, who said that? I'm not talking about him.
Okay.
He shouldn't let his wife use it. That would be wrong. You're assuming...
Or how about another handicapped person that actually had their placard that wanted to use that spot, that paid the fees or did whatever hoops they had to jump
If there was another handicapped person that wanted to use that space and this guy got there first, I mean, there's usually enough handicapped spots, but I think, here's what I call it, substance over form, meaning that, yes, by the sheer, you're absolutely right, Mark, he was wrong. He did park there without a placard. There's no discussing that. He was wrong. But there's no sense giving the guy a ticket because he wasn't misusing it. The purpose of tickets, the purpose of that law is to make sure there are spots for handicapped people. But I agree. He should then go get a ticket. The cop should say, listen, man, you got to really get a placard because if you didn't come out here, you would have gotten a ticket for sure. And he should have gotten a ticket if he wasn't there. He should have gotten a ticket. But what I'm saying is, when the cop actually sees the guy and they can have a conversation, it becomes what I call substance over form. It's person to person. It's not like, I say, the SS troops of Hitler, who no matter what, if you were Jewish, you were taken in and you were killed. I mean, that's it. So I'm saying that there is a time for a law, but a time for what you call the spirit of the law. I just want to give this example. Because the handicap parking situation is so out of line, they have volunteers that are charged with going out and enforcing handicapped parking rules. My hat is off to those people. I think it's wonderful that someone would volunteer to do that. I'd like to do that. There are plenty of times I see some whippersnapper jumping in a car and taking off, and I'd love to go up to him and give him a ticket. I'd love it. Here's what happened at iHeart right here. We had a volunteer. He's an airline pilot who in his spare time volunteers as handicap parking enforcement. He also volunteered with us. He's a good man. There is no doubt in my mind. He's a good man. His heart is in the right place. He volunteers. But he went out to our parking lot at iHeart, and he saw Susan, one of our employees who has MS, hobbling to her car, literally. She doesn't walk normally. She knows that. She struggles. She's getting to her car, and he says, your handicap plate is expired.
The placard.
The placard. And he confiscated it. And she says, oh, man, come on. He says, look, I'm grabbing this. You know, you're going to have to go get a new one. Now, okay.
He did not give her a ticket.
No, but he threatened to if she didn't turn it over.
Yeah.
And by the way, he went out of his way to go to the front of the car to look at the expiration on it.
Deal. Okay, here's the
deal.
But
that's what he's charged with doing.
He was technically correct. It was expired. But I want to bring up some variables where I call substance over form. First and foremost, it's private property. Not that that matters. Still can enforce it. But iHeart doesn't care if she parks there. In fact, they insist on it. Also, Susan's been parking there for years and years.
He wouldn't know any of this.
No, but it wouldn't matter because here's the deal. He saw she's obviously handicapped, obviously, was not misusing the spot. So by confiscating her plate, what did he do? Did he serve the greater good? In my opinion, he did not. Not in that case. Now, if she wasn't there, if it was her husband using it, if it was being misused, I'm all for it. The whole point was Suzanne, our Suzanne, not Susan now, Suzanne found out about this and was very upset. And she says, Tom, I just don't think it's nice. I don't want him around. I don't like it. Now, I said, you know what, at the time, I didn't have an opinion. I thought, you know what, Suzanne, you have to work with him. It's up to you. Mark said, wait a minute, he's a great guy. Go ahead. What did you say?
Well, it's simple. This guy not only, first of all, he's a professional. He's an airline pilot. And in his little bit of spare time, he volunteers for the city of Denver, watching out for handicapped people. For all we know, his mom or dad might have been handicapped and never could get a spot somewhere. We don't know what drove him to that. And he worked his butt off for us here for no pay.
Right.
So the guy's a volunteer. He's a good guy. And I just disagree with the entire premise.
You lack compassion, Mark.
It's nothing to do with compassion. The guy is supposed to do that. That is his job.
No, hold on. And that's true. Hitler's SS troops were
Oh,
supposed to...
that is...
That's right.
So
They were
now,
just following
now the
code, Tom.
volunteer is a
Following
Hitler
code.
guy.
No, I did not say
That's
that.
a liberal...
No.
That is a liberal argument if I ever
Now,
heard.
let me ask you something, Mark. Let me ask you something. If someone with no legs was hobbling out to that parking spot, should he have still confiscated the plate?
The expired one?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Oh, dear.
Because it's expired.
What
Where
about
is the
this?
valid one? The valid one apparently someone else is
No,
using
that's not
that
true.
didn't go out and fill it out and
That-
get
Her
through the
car was in
paperwork.
the shop,
First of all, it's not fair to assume that.
And
So
he
let's-
didn't give him a
Mark,
ticket.
It's not fair to assume that. Let's not talk about what we don't see.
Then
Let's
what
talk
happened
about
to the other... What happened
Mark,
to the valid
Mark,
placard?
Mark, that is not an
Her
argument
car was
to be...
in the shop.
Suzanne, don't get trapped into an argument that isn't there. We're not talking about some plate that doesn't exist. I'm talking about the situation. That man did not go up there and say to himself, oh, I think she has another plate
Okay,
somewhere being
if
used
her-
by
if
someone
her-
else.
If
I mean,
her
that's not
driver's
why he did
license
it.
was expired, no big deal either?
And he made her move her
if
car
his-
to walk
if his
further.
if her driver's license
Tags
was
expired.
if she should get a ticket.
Okay, and he didn't even give her a ticket.
Why? Because
he
here's
took
why. Because
he took the expired placard.
Listen, he took it. What he should have done, in my opinion, is say, you know what? I can obviously see you are not misusing this placard. I want to help you get one. He could have helped. He could have gotten the paperwork and helped her.
She acknowledged they had a current placard somewhere, Tom, and he didn't give her a ticket because he knew she was
Here's what I'm saying.
handicapped.
I think that it's substance over form, and that's what keeps us human. That's what keeps us from simply blindly following rules.
Well,
That's
thank
what I
God we have judges and people that actually read the laws and stuff, because what is the law for? You're not supposed to have an expired one.
Mark,
because
that
then
is a
everybody and their
trivial
mother could have an expired
violation.
one.
That's
out
right.
Trivial.
You're right. You're not supposed to have an expired plate. I agree.
Be selling them at concerts.
But there's something called grace, and that's... No, Mark, I'm not saying that people should use an
But
expired
Tom,
plate.
if you're going to bring up the grace word, then can't you extend grace to this man who's proven himself at the Troubleshooter Network and say, you know, rather than just
And
cutting
volunteers
him
for
off
that.
at the knees, no
flabbergasted.
pun intended.
We
I
didn't
was
cut him off.
flabbergasted. He could have offered to help her get those
But
placards
maybe,
removed.
Susan,
Here's
maybe
what I
he's had
think.
some time to think.
Here's what I think. I think he didn't have compassion, and we need people here with compassion.
Well, has he had a chance to think about this and talk to you?
We're
and
here to help on this
Right,
team.
right.
Not to make
I'd love
people's
to hear
lives
from
more
him. I
difficult.
told him
First of all, I'm not using him because it doesn't matter if it's him or not, and here's the point I want to make. It's not about him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm saying there's something in him that is authority-wise freaked out, and it wasn't well placed.
I don't think he's Barney Fife. I disagree.
Well, my heart goes out to Susan. I mean, people who have MS.
That's right.
You know, I mean, listen.
struggle.
I did a story for CBS 4 News, and they made me get in a wheelchair, and they wanted to simulate the experience of having MS, and they started me in downtown Denver. They made me go to Metro and get an article on MS and wheel myself back, and they followed me. Not a person looked at me. I mean, it was hard. I remember, you know, I've done triathlons. I remember being sore for like a month after that, and they put Vaseline on my glasses. I had like shop glasses, and I had gardener gloves on, so I eliminated my
Your
really dexterity, and then I had to have thick hose on.
So
but
what's the point?
My point is until you've walked a mile in the moccasins of somebody with being handicapped,
okay,
I think
then
you
you're
don't
making
understand.
our point. If you see someone obviously
Yes.
handicapped, hold on a
But
sec.
Tom, this is a no-win.
See,
I mean,
okay, if I'm speeding because something's going on in my life, what do? Tell the cop, oh,
She
but
wasn't
please,
speeding.
have some empathy
No,
for
hold
me.
on.
My wife just did something,
hold
or
on.
something
She
happened.
she
My
wasn't
God.
speeding.
No,
She
but
wasn't speeding.
if someone in the passenger seat's having a heart attack, I'll speed. And yes, I will use that as an excuse. Absolutely. It's substance over form. Mark, not everything is black and white. Hold on a sec. Adam, what's your quick comment? I'm running over time. What's your comment, sir?
So did he reach in the car and grab this placard?
No, he asked her for it. He said if she voluntarily gives it to him, he won't give her a ticket.
And he can actually write a ticket. He's authorized.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. I think he should have just said, hey, by the way, it's expired. Give you a heads
Exactly.
up.
Exactly.
That's what he did, and he had to take it.
No, he took it, and he doesn't have to. Look, we got more coming up.
Hello, I'm Tom
Tom Marchino with President from Ideal Home Loan.
Our kids
Brett
have to do a
Simonson,
day event
and
at the
we
every
have
few
some
years.
great news. Brett,
No
calling
talking, no
people
hearing.
have a loan, they
Really?
they don't want to start
At-
off. You don't have to hit the
Taekwondo.
reset button on your home loan.
Really?
Or flexible term refinance, whatever you
Anytime
have
they
today,
go up a
you
belt,
can
they have to
at
do
the
a
same period of time.
day
Let
event.
you take advantage of lower interest
Is that
rates,
just to
lower
bring the
payments,
other
while still
senses?
paying your house off as scheduled originally.
No, I think it's truly so they feel the way other
The great
people
news
do.
is you can cash it
Because
out
that does,
on
anytime you do that,
Break
it's-
it down.
I never thought of that. You're right. Maybe that is part of it as well.
We'll refinance your existing mortgage with no
No,
lender
Mark,
fees, so you can
honestly,
secure a
I
lower
hear
interest
what
rate
you're
and a
saying.
lower monthly payment.
This guy's valid employee, volunteer.
Yep.
You go in personally.
Or
And you know what?
idealhomeloans.com. Ideal Home Loans is regulated by
Tom
the
is
Division
saying
of
you
Real
needed,
Estate.
this
NMLS
employee
number
needed to give grace to
136756.
Susan.
Call 303-867-7000.
Tom,
Example based on
Maybe you guys need to give some grace to this guy. Is he
250
repentant? Is he sorry for what he did? Is he thinking, I think I overstepped?
Unfortunately, we didn't even tell him why
I can't believe
we
that.
didn't let him back for over a year.
That was right. That was wrong.
He emailed me.
You're right.
He emailed me yesterday.
That's not right.
Hold on. Absolutely, we were wrong. That's right.
For carpets. You
That's
can
kinda
do
cool.
3
I mean,
rooms
it was
for just
real cool.
I think it's,
including
and then let's,
And it really wasn't time. It said, for whatever reason, it triggered something into Suzanne that was crazy. And she's passionate about it.
Water, you can feel
She thinks the guy is like just, you know, the devil.
I actually
feel new,
care.
and I never have to worry
I
about
didn't.
games.
but I'm gonna tell you,
But here's
Mark,
what I
honestly,
thought.
I want you to know that
Here's what I
when I see her walking, my heart just goes out to her because it is, more women get diagnosed in Colorado for some reason.
With MS?
Yeah, I did this whole story about it.
It's a
I don't,
it's a hospice.
why?
Are they born here?
5150. Zero red.
If you see, if you look at the MS ribbon,
carpet without
there's a band
303-471-5150.
MS per square mile in Colorado than anywhere.
But are they born here?
No, Mark, no.
Wow.
And I thought, does it have something to
Okay,
do?
let me look at the MS.
Yeah, I think it doesn't have something to do, but I really, it weighed heavily.
Honey, I won't finish your sentence, but we gotta be quick though, because I have like,
Must be quick, and all terms, conditions, rewards, and/or benefits
Well,
published
then,
or received are subject to change.
don't talk so much. Look at him.
However you travel.
No, but I was reading that and I thought, I looked at the,
information
the
locked or stolen in
letter and I thought,
9%
oh
experience
my
identity
goodness.
theft.
Which
The whole
letter?
thing was about you
You're
needed
going
to
on
be grace,
vacation on
give him
business
grace.
time.
The one he wrote?
With you.
You should see the one she wrote. I mean, when you start talking Hitler, I just go, this is insane. This is insane. That's something I would do.
But truly, my heart goes, let's just get down to it. My heart goes out to Susan. I mean, when you see her walking, I think, you know, that, but there but for the grace. I mean, that could happen to me and Susan.
Anybody.
And you know what? You're basically trying to get through life in knee-high or waist-high water, and somebody comes over and puts their foot out and kind of trips you. I do agree that Tom is right. He should have just said, let me help you get that updated. That would have been a magnanimous hero.
Yeah, but you missed it. She had her real valid one. She just didn't have it with that car. It was in their other car.
Oh, well then hell, bring it tomorrow.
But you're not supposed to have expired ones for that reason.
Oh my gosh.
Because people sell the expired ones.
To be honest, really though,
It was over the top.
he didn't confiscate that because she had another one in another car. That was
That's over
after
the
the
top.
fact.
Mark,
See, those facts don't really play.
You're supposed to confiscate.
Are you going to take some
That's
insurance?
that is right. That is right. But
Why would you want
Mark,
that?
letter of law, if he's doing letter of law, he should give her a ticket then. So he did give her the letter of law. So you're saying you're creating your argument.
I would
he
guess
did letter of law.
that's up to them.
Well, I don't even think it's right.
For MS?
Let them go.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. They said they don't know. Because I
What do
kept
you
trying to figure out if it
Well,
has
just
to
let
do
them
with the
go for,
altitude
without
or...
giving them a reason. Yeah, should have let them know why, or talk to them about it.
So you don't think he should have confiscated the...
No. Let him go as a volunteer.
Oh, that was horrible. But
he didn't do anything wrong. I'm not.
and no one even told him why.
I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm saying it wasn't right.
I think it's wrong to humanity.
To reduce your tax debt down to a small
Oh,
fraction.
God.
It is. There's not even an argument there.
What's that?
It's a humanitarian.
So anytime there's one of those out there, that should be it.
No.
They should not be confiscated.
Hold on. No, if they're being used properly, you're right. That's what I agree. I agree.
So they shouldn't be confiscated.
Right.
Well, then go change the law, because that's not what the law is.
No.
They'd be everywhere.
No, I'm saying that if you're disabled, you should be able to use it, and it doesn't matter.
But Mark,
Now, Mark, if she wasn't there, she should have gotten a ticket. If she doesn't...
How about for all the people that do use them, and the expired ones, that aren't by their car?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Listen, I am not making the argument that everyone should have expired handicap plates. I'm not even making the argument that everyone should get a ticket. If this guy walked up to a handicap parking spot and there was an expired placard on it, he should have given a ticket. All I'm saying is this is one limited instance. If you are face to face with someone, if they are there in front of you, and you can see that they're obviously handicapped and they're in a handicapped spot, I believe there is no reason to do anything else. That's the only thing I'm saying. I am not saying that she shouldn't have gotten a ticket if she wasn't there. I'm not saying that the expired plate should not be renewed. All I'm saying is if you are looking at someone and they are disabled, obviously, and you can see it, say, okay, this is expired, by the way, you got to get that renewed, but why bother confiscating it? Why bother giving a ticket?
Because there's a ton of those expired placards out there being used by people that shouldn't have them and shouldn't use them.
But that's
why
not the case, Mark. You keep saying that. I'm talking about this case.
It's still an expired... The problem is the placard was expired. It's supposed to be confiscated. He did not give a ticket.
Mark, it doesn't have to be confiscated.
It's crazy.
I'm not making the argument that you're incorrect, because it is supposed to be confiscated.
How many people get a ticket all the time? They get pulled over for speeding. It's happened to me when I was younger. You get pulled over for something, and you don't have your registration or your insurance card on you, but you have insurance. So they give you a ticket for no insurance.
But Mark,
then you show up and
show it.
That's right. Then you show up and do it. But what if? So Mark, why can't you just say to the cop, "Well, I have insurance"?
No, Mark. He could see that she was disabled. Look, here's
and she's been working here forever, and she's loyal.
But he doesn't know any of that.
Yeah, but he does.
He knows none of that.
He can see she's disabled and she has a cane. Here's the other thing. Let's put it this way. That same story I told you about, the guy with no legs. He couldn't afford to go to a doctor, okay? But in order to get his handicap plate, he had to get a doctor's note. So we went, cameras rolling, into the Department of Motor Vehicle. He is in a wheelchair with no legs. He hands her the application, and she says to him, "Do you have a doctor's note?" He says, "No, ma'am, I don't." She says, "How can you prove you have a disability?" "I swear to God." And he said, "Ma'am, look at me." Okay? And he wheels out, and she looks, and she says, "I'm sorry, sir, you need a letter from a doctor." Now, this is a prime example of what I call substance over form. Yes, technically you need a doctor's note, but do you think the guy went out and chopped off his legs just to get a placard? And if he did, he deserves it. I mean, I'm saying that in this case, not in every case, Mark, not in every case. You see, you keep trying to make it every case.
You want to say the rules are different based upon
individual circumstances.
Okay, well, can you imagine our court system then?
No.
The tort reform,
Mark,
it would be insane.
Mark, why do we have... Hold on.
Your Honor, I don't like the color red,
Do you know what common law means? Yes. What is it?
Well, common law is things that have happened. In other words, it's not...
It's decisions made by judges and juries.
Okay.
And they actually alter statutory law. So that goes to show you that it's not black and white, because there are times people break a statutory law, yet they don't get punished the same because there were extenuating circumstances. And that is what's called common law in many cases. There is a wrinkle in it. Mark, I'm not saying in every single case...
Yeah, but how do you open that up?
You don't open it up.
Who determines a special person?
I'm saying in our heart we know when somebody is doing right or wrong, and if we know they're not doing something wrong, it doesn't matter if they're technically wrong, in my opinion. It's what you call humanity. If you see someone with no legs, why would you require them to have a doctor's note?
You would switched our entire thing that happened here to a guy with no legs.
No, it's the exactly same issue. Okay, Mark. The guy is standing there the guy is in his wheelchair with no legs. I swear, you wouldn't require a doctor's note, would you? Even if the law says you have
If I get fired at DMV, which you probably would for not having the doctor's note, of course I would. And so would you.
Okay, so all I'm saying
I'm not saying it's not a stupid law, Tom. I'm saying, my God, I mean,
Mark,
how do you...
Mark, what is your... I'm sorry, Mark, caller, what is your opinion on this? Mark?
Well, I think this is an issue of... Are you there?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is an issue of discretion, isn't it? I mean,
That's exactly the word. That's the exact word.
You know, he had the right to take the placard. He knew that she was obviously having a medical issue or medical issues, and that's why she had the placard. It's expired. Okay, you know what? You did something, but we get a chance. You need to go in and get this.
Right. Right. That's exactly right, by the way. It's called discretion. And here's the deal.
But she told him she had her valid placard in her other car. Let's quit leaving that part out.
But that, Mark...
She was using the expired one in a different vehicle.
Mark, he confiscated it before he knew that. That is not... Here's the point. That is not this situation. He saw someone... and he took her plate. He didn't have to. That's all I'm saying.
So he volunteers for Denver. They say, listen, if you see expired placards, you either got to take the placard or write the guy a ticket and take the placard. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the job if you want to volunteer for us. So when he actually does what he's supposed to do, now we punish him. I'm going to go above that because we didn't even tell him why we didn't have him back for over a year.
Hold on. All I'm saying is he could have had more discretion and given her some grace. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I am not excusing you keep wanting to make it universal. What I am saying is, as human beings, we are easily able to interpret situations. Do you know that district attorneys have prosecutorial discretion, meaning that if someone breaks the law, they can decide whether or not to prosecute based on the circumstances. But why, Mark? If the law is the law is the law, they should have no discretion. But they do. Why do they? Why do juries have discretion? Why, Mark?
So everybody who works at DMV should have discretion.
Yes.
So the blind guy walks in and says, damn it, I think this guy could drive even though he's...
You're exaggerating.
Yes, I think people should have discretion.
They can't even pay their ABCs at DMV, and you want to give them discretion.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
When their uncle comes in without his glasses, no problem.
Maybe they should have a compassion test to take before you're issued one of these licenses to be able to go around and give tickets. If you see a person who barely make it to their car and their handicap placard is expired, what would you do?
What greater good person?
But I do have to say, Tom, it was an extreme measure to not even tell him why to let go and not talk to him for a year.
Well, he didn't make that decision.
Can I say that? I left it totally to Suzanne, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't work her. So it would be unfair for me to say, you have to have it back. I said, Suzanne, you're the one that works with her. If you want to have it back, fine. If you don't, that's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally stayed out of it.
She made the choice. She made the choice not to answer his
I did tell her she should tell me.
Because he emailed me yesterday, going, you guys always talk about communication with businesses. How come you never communicated with me?
He's correct on that. I mean, yeah, we should have communicated. There's no discussion there. We should have communicated with him.
Yeah, let him have his chance to repent, and maybe he won't do that anymore.
Well, we never even asked for his side of it. We only had one side of what went down.
That's really not right.
Recommend the right system because they
castigate him, reprimand him, but
there's nothing to really even recommend. Just say, man, give her a break.
Permanent solution to sinking
we'll give them all a break. You have another opportunity.
See, I would like to think if he was here for a long period of time and saw her all the time, it wouldn't have happened. But he's never seen her.
That's what I was thinking. But what he did was cold.
I don't even know that.
Mark, what he did was cold, but what happened here was cold. It's
on the smartphone.
A whole.
But here's what's really
the only people right in this.
Completely changed over the years.
Say,
I swear to God,
when they answer, and they'll text you back
he
all
was
the information.
The most fucking
make an appointment for a
bleeding heart you've ever want to see in your life.
Who?
You. You were.
He still is.
No, he was. And about, I mean, And now, I mean, he's so arch conservative, it's unbelievable this way. You didn't know him when he, I mean, he voted for
Were you an Obama fan?
Huh?
When you was an Obama
Twice.
Change the way you live. With
Obama was
Denver, the tax that little
Yeah, but politics are different.
including Fort Collins, they're sure to
I know right now, if Mark Major was walking out and saw this Susan walking out to her car, I don't care if he's never seen her before, he would never go make her life more difficult. He'd say, hey, I noticed that's expired.
I'd throw the book at her.
Let me help you out. I know you would. I know you wouldn't make her life harder. I know you would.
The good book, that is.
The good book.
Well, yeah, that's what's missing in this whole entire discussion, the word grace. Tom said it.
No, and of course I wouldn't, nor would Suzanne, nor would Tom. But A, we know her. Okay, and B,
No, even if you didn't know
and B, we didn't go up somewhere and take an oath to do certain things and volunteer and be told what to do.
I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, I think I'd roll the dice on that one. I'd say, you know what, if I lost my job because I helped a lady get an updated placard, you know what, then so be it.
And here's the guy, this
You know,
is
you're
what really
answering to a
kills me.
higher power than just the state.
Steph, what really kills me about it is, the guy, he doesn't just volunteer for us. It's evident he is a true volunteer, regardless of his reasons. And he's not a nutcase because he's flying around jumbo jets.
Well,
On a
doesn't
sawed
necessarily qualify him as not being a
Well,
job.
it says that he can focus.
Right. Well,
industry experts with
no, I think that
with an A rating with
it's
the
kind of overreaction on
today,
all
the IRS will be
parties.
contacted the same day, putting a
I'm the only logical one here as usual.
tax relief hotline at 800-294-8182. 800-294-8182.
I guarantee people like the topic.
800-294-8182.
People love banter.
I'm Tom Martino for ID.
Well, hold on. So this is Tom this morning. He calls me and tells me
If rates
that
go down,
he's
they
going through Starbucks
you
and
free.
somebody cuts him
Charge
off.
303
And he's so mad about it. So what does he do?
Who?
Approval. It's like a cash.
He buys her a Starbucks.
Did you really?
Not pre-qualified. Approved.
Wow.
What you need
After she cuts him off.
I don't even know what
lines, you know the lines that go like this, and he says, you gotta wait for these.
That's
to go,
almost-
And then you go. And this lady was thinking, no, you take turns.
That's almost evil.
And Tom's like, no, you don't take turns. These people go, and then whoever gets
You're thinking that, see, this is weird, because I think that's almost borderline crazy. I think that was your way of getting back at her. Even though you're thinking, oh, what a nice gesture, it's like, oh my God, made her feel guilty, made her feel everything.
Maybe she doesn't understand the rules.
Well, okay, fair enough.
She changed her attitude after that.
Maybe she won't do it again.
Hi, Tom Martino here. The really important thing on this whole discussion, I will take all your consumer problems questions and all of that, but the really important thing is the Starbucks line we'll talk about later. I just want to get your opinion on that. And then we also have Common Woman today. Stephanie Riggs is sitting in, and fill in the blanks.
Remember what happened the last time you called me that?
Yes. Yes. So people thought I was condescending when I said common woman. Do you feel I'm common when I said she was a common woman?
Considering you're married, yes.
Greg, what's going on with you, Greg?
Hey, Tom, I got a question for Mark. He talks about following the letter of the law and all this with the handicap placards and everything.
Yeah.
If he's in a grocery parking lot and he sees a dog that's in a car in a day like today with the windows halfway cracked and that dog stand like crazy.
I would smash the window.
Absolutely, but the law says you're not allowed.
No,
to
actually,
do that
in most municipalities, that's exactly what you can do, is rescue the dog.
No, you don't. They have a state law which takes effect in August where you can do that, providing you follow some guidelines. Up until then, if you do that, you could be held. And
what I would have done, I'd just call the cops.
We have.
I do too, but I would also knock that window
I was
out,
part of
take that dog out.
I was part of a vigilante group that rescued horses, and trust me when I tell you, if they were being mistreated and we verified it, they were gone.
And this goes to a whole different thing. He didn't give a ticket. He didn't give a ticket, and I don't want to stay on this forever, but I don't want all the expired handicap placards out there.
I don't want them all out there
Susan
either.
would never do anything with them.
I don't want
but
all of them out there.
There is people. There's like a whole underground thing going on.
Mark, I don't want all of them out there either, okay? See, Suzanne, he always goes to the universal. I don't want all of them out there either. How about that? So I agree with you.
I was a litigator in my former life.
Norma. Oh, do I have to take a break? Am I? No, okay. Norma, what's happening? Oh, you want to comment? Good. Norma, go ahead.
Okay, so my comment is,
the first thing is, in your statement, she had another placard somewhere, so she should have had it, because my father needed handicap parking, and he could hardly ever find it. And
but she was deserving of her handicap parking spot.
Let the woman speak.
No, I'm saying it wasn't as if she didn't deserve the spot. I agree with her. They should be available for only those with disabilities. I'm sorry, go ahead.
What happens if 5 people drove up with disabilities while it was there?
First come, first serve, I guess.
That's exactly correct. No, that's not true.
What do you mean not true?
Sir, it's the person who has the rightful authority to be there, and that person would be a valid placard.
Well, I think, okay, then I think if that situation, okay, if that situation happened, you're right.
Please don't cut me off. The next person.
Guess what? I just cut you off. Okay? I believe, here's the point I'm trying to make, is that, okay, you guys keep going to stuff that did not exist. Yes, if 4 other people were there with handicap plates that were valid, then yes, Norma, I agree with you. Now you can talk. I just want to make that point. Go ahead. Go ahead, Norma. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get Norma back up. Okay, go ahead, Norma.
Thank you for letting me speak again, because you're right. You cut me off, which is rude. The second thing is the next handicap, whoever volunteer or police officer who it was that was giving out tickets that day would have given her a ticket. So one way or another, if she didn't get a ticket that day, she would have eventually, who knows. But the people who are in those spots should have valid parking. And she said that she had one.
They should.
So I don't think there was anything wrong with him giving.
He didn't give her a ticket. All he did was take the, not counterfeit, but take the expired placard.
And he should have. That's exactly
I heard they sell those in Metallica
Norma, all I said was, in this circumstance, it did not serve the greater good. She really did deserve the spot. Okay, go ahead, Brutus.
So I understand that you're saying that she deserved it, and I agree with you 100%. He doesn't have the ability to make that decision. He's volunteering to perform an act to help regulate. If he gave her a ticket and it goes to the courts, they decide at that point what happens.
Yeah, and he didn't give her a ticket.
He's just following what he's told to do.
Right.
If someone comes up with a non-visible handicap with an expired plate, do you just assume that they're not actually handicapped? That's what this is for. He can't go around just deciding who he feels is deserving.
I think he can. I think he can. So that's where we disagree.
He's just doing what he's volunteering to do.
Right.
He can't make the decisions himself. Otherwise, every single volunteer can start doing
that.
Except
you're going universal again.
But Tom wants everybody at DMV to be able to make up who should drive and who shouldn't.
What I'm saying is, in life, there are circumstances where discretion should be the decision maker. You should be able to look beyond the black and white. I'm not saying in every case, Kevin, again, you're going universal. Otherwise, everyone would do this. You know, I said to a company one time, I always say this, with a refund, if I give a refund in this case, it's against our policy, I'd have to do it in all the cases. And I said, first of all, if you did have to do it in all the cases, you should be out of business. Second of all, there is nothing ever universal where people can't stray. I disagree with you, Kevin. I do believe people can make individual decisions. I do. And that's how America was formed by God.
They're called judges.
Mark, everybody who signed the Declaration of Independence was an outlaw. Every single one of them. This country was founded on a flock of outlaws. We have more coming up, and I'm going to talk about Starbucks, too.
Mark, this is the one thing. Everyone thinks he's the toughest, scariest guy. I've known him for 25 years. I'm telling you, if you are mentally ill, if you have a handicap, if you are a child,
and Mark's like that
if you're
too,
a puppy,
not being that way.
I'm telling you, I can tell when I listen to him, and I'm telling you, he will give you grace every time. You will get such a pass. I don't care what you've done, Mark. Tom will let you slide. He will say, I feel sorry for this kid, or I feel sorry for this teenager. Really,
I told you the topic.
Tom is the most gigantic, softy sass you're ever going to meet. But, isn't it funny that he did everyone thinks he's such a scary, heartless.
You can't have people at DMV and just people making willy-nilly decisions.
The human nature is my uncle's going to get something, the next guy isn't. You got to have
No,
rules
but
and
Mark, you have
regulations.
to admit, the DMV makes it virtually impossible to get in and out in one day.
Oh, it is impossible.
It is like a conspiracy. I really feel like it. I mean, it's like they,
And those people
they get their highlighters out and they go.
And they shouldn't have the ability to make
They get
decisions.
their highlighters out again. You're like, you have to pray before you go in there.
Kevin, there's always a Larson tax in the system, always. I just got the new script yesterday, but there's always a 60-second there. They never do a live there. Good. They might be entered as a recording spot, whatever, but that's all we ever run. We never do a live.
Okay, yeah, there is no
You know, I
recording,
grew up
and
in
that's what
Phoenix.
it's
I don't
listed
remember
as.
it being this excruciatingly hot. No,
It's a 60-second in the system right now, and I have a new script. I
Yeah,
can't
you
more.
can.
Water for sure. I gotta do. I know that. I'm gonna get them done today.
Okay, and if you can throw Larson in there, we'll just fill
Oh, I
got Larson.
I graduated from high school early,
In the
so
president, did you find it in the system?
I didn't see it the last time I looked, and that was
I
Monday.
just got my license.
What you call it?
Also, I didn't live in Arizona,
If you just,
but when I go
he
back,
said he didn't have a recent one.
I was in
So
Arizona.
They run a monthly, one for the whole month.
If it's in the system as
Oh,
a
no,
normal
people
spot,
would.
that's why there's been a problem.
Is it because we're close to
If you just do another one, do two, the same one, and we'll just load one as the recorded, that way there's no problems in the future.
Bad news comes for Americans counted
Should I send it to you?
Federal investigators say the man who shot up a congressional baseball practice
Yeah, that's fine.
aims of
Did you see the story on
The
CBS
FBI
Sunday
saying
morning
during a
about
news
the
conference
little
today that
leaguers
James
and what
Hodgkinson's
we
bill
can
had
buy
no
or not?
context
And then the
to it, and
congressional
the agency did not
baseball
release the names
and
of the
then they did the little
lawmakers.
league. You know how
As
they all
far
shake
as
hands at
other
the
issues,
end and they.
While the shooter
Steve
was not
Hartman did it.
known
You
to
gotta
have a
look it up.
history of diagnosed
It is
mental
so
illness,
good. And then they had
he is known, or was known, to have an anger management problem.
investigators say they found over 200 rounds of ammunition
What's
in the
it? The guy that
shooter's
shot up
nearby
the
storage
congressional,
locker. You're
baseball
listening
game.
to the latest from NBC News Radio.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
We are emails. I'm gonna read,
What is
Sunny
it?
and hot today with a high of
They're just-
99.
they all agree.
With
you?
64. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high of 91.
I agree.
Friday, chance of
Suzanne, you
I
ought to
usually
read
agree
some
with
of
you,
these
Mark.
lies.
It takes more than a roof to
Did any of them agree with Mark?
Farmers Insurance
Of course.
has over 89 years of knowledge and
No,
experience.
seriously.
One did.
Not
I
last
had a
call.
few people
Kevin
say
does.
they felt sorry that I was married to him.
Best run companies I've ever seen.
They're offering Suzanne Grace.
Because at Excel Roofing,
Mark, is this just a radio ploy?
that's why he never puts a cancellation
We're
or
on to you,
penalty
Mark.
fee
You're
in
big old
his
sloppy.
contract.
I told him,
I knew this would
He
just
wants
go
you to
crazy.
want to do business with him, and he never takes
I
any
was like,
money
so,
up front. He only
Tom, why is
collects when the
Mark
job is
telling me
done,
that I
and
need
never
to
a blank
be the
contract.
voice
At
of reason
Excel
with you?
Roofing,
And he's just
they
all sending me
take
emails.
clients and give them full contracts with
I feel sorry
everything
for the
written
guy.
down, so clients know exactly what they
Oh, you
should
should
get,
have
and then
talked
he
to-
Well,
negotiates.
here's the other thing, remember, they're leaving out the main part of this because they didn't want to bring it up.
You never pay a dime.
Because we didn't even tell them. We
Yeah,
totally
that's
ignored
wrong.
them for years.
No, that's wrong.
So if they want to keep it up, that's where I'm going
You guys
next.
want to, if you guys want to watch something, this is
Also on my
this is
referral
what
list
the
at
Regis Boys Division gives us a theology assignment. It's called The Origin of Evil. Could the Holocaust happen again today? It's a TED Talk. You have got to watch it.
I bet it should. I bet
You
that's
have
good.
got to watch it. I could not. I said to Griffin, he's like, Mom, will you watch it and tell me what it means? And I was like, no, get in here. This is unbelievable. Wait till you see it. Was all about Abu Ghraib, and it's called the Psychology of Evil. It's a TED Talk. It'll just come up. You gotta watch it. What they did was they had to. Well, he had to represent as the psychiatrist one of the prisoners in Abu Ghraib. How did they do that? How did these volunteers that were trained, and how did they get them to be so degrading to all those who watch prisoners? How did they get?
How did they?
Well, you gotta watch it. I'm not giving it away. And then they did a simulation with just wholesome, clean-cut boys back in the 60s at a college, and they arrested them.
Oh, I saw that.
Half of the guys.
They made a movie about that.
Yeah, half the guys were guards and half the guys were prisoners. And what they did.
And the guards became absolutely assholes.
You gotta watch it.
I watched that whole thing, the whole doc on what you're talking
That
about.
guy that consolidation is the one that did the study.
You gotta see that if you haven't seen that.
It shows, I've told the psychology people the TED Talk and how you give somebody a little power, a little anonymity, a little uniform, and guess what?
Completely debt-free.
Something happens to their compassion.
And then these were people that, I mean, this was even worse because it was, everybody knew they were all college
Well, he was
students.
at Stanford, and this woman came up and said, you stop this study right now, and he did, and he ended up marrying that woman. Somebody's gotta stand up and say, what you're doing is wrong, and I think that's what Tom's elected himself to be. The general for justice.
So there's a movie of it, or there's the TED Talk?
The TED Talk, watch the TED Talk, I don't know about what Mark's talking about.
So you're alerted when anyone steps.
There's that study they did, there's an actual movie. And I think it's a doc. In other words, it's a movie though. It is a movie. It's not like the actual footage, although they show actual footage in it while they're doing it. I don't. But I remember
But it's based on the Stanford
In
study?
retirement,
And
I'm going to have a clause in the contract.
They had to
that says I'm allowed to come back and give my
call the whole
opinion
thing off
without him interrupting.
because they were getting there. What were you saying?
I said I'm going to have a clause in the contract in retirement. I get to come back on and say my opinion without interruption.
Unannounced.
Unannounced. She'll just put them through. It's Phil on line 2. It's Phil.
Matt is back.
When are you retiring?
I don't know. I'm not going to do this forever, honey.
Yes, you will.
No.
From the nursing home, you'll be there.
No.
We'll go to live at the old folks' home.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We will solve problems for you and fight injustice. Yeah, that's what we do. We got all kinds of things going on today. Welcome to the show. The only show really that does one thing, help. We help people with problems, questions, complaints. Sometimes we help ourselves. What I mean is we discuss things that come up in everyday life, and no matter what, you come away from this show smarter, even if you don't agree. We are here 24/7 for you if you ever have a problem at 303-MARTINO, and then when we're on the air, that number automatically rings through. We're also at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, and we have a guest today, common woman, Stephanie Riggs.
Oh boy.
Has been my best friend for like 25 years, and I worked with her at Channel 4 years ago. So listen, people. We've been talking about this handicap problem. I don't want to belabor it, but it was a situation that you have to listen to the podcast. But I will say we got some emails.
Wait, before you, that's fine. You can read how I'm getting beat up, but can I at least say something here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so everybody needs to understand one other aspect to this.
Okay, if you're going to do that, let's recap. A woman with MS was walking to her car. She works here at Clear Channel or at iHeart, and one of our volunteers, that's at Troubleshooter Network, he's an airline pilot, nice guy, he went up and confiscated her handicap plate because it was outdated, it was expired, and we thought it was wrong. Not technically wrong, it was correct, but what I meant was you have discretion. You can obviously see she's not walking correctly. She has a handicap. So, you know, why bother confiscating her handicap plate? Tell her to go get it renewed or whatever. I just thought the greater good was not served. Go ahead.
Well, she had another one, but anyhow, she acknowledged it.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
He didn't confiscate that because
That's not even what I want to say. The main issue, this even became a problem, okay?
Yes.
The main issue is because this guy volunteered for us over a year ago for probably a month, okay? Then all of a sudden, we didn't invite him in anymore. We didn't answer why we weren't inviting him in anymore. We simply just said, because this happened, we just don't want you in anymore.
No,
and we didn't even tell him that.
Hold on.
So I get an
now
email.
you're attacking us
Hold
because
on.
you're
Mark,
wrong.
That's right. So I get an email yesterday. No, people, this is a big part of it. I never thought we should get rid of it.
It's no part of our discussion.
To me, it's
really
a
not.
huge
It's a whole
part.
separate
It's a huge part of our discussion.
It has nothing to do with the issue.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
We terminated a volunteer based upon him following the rules for a different volunteer job he had. The issue at hand was, do people have discretion when it comes to
the black and white rules.
That's the issue you guys have. I thought we mishandled it, and I thought he handled it fine. I don't think he did anything wrong, and he definitely didn't deserve for us not to talk to him for a freaking year till he emailed me yesterday.
First of all, you're bringing up something that wasn't even part of the discussion. It really wasn't. So here's the point.
It is a big part of it.
It actually has nothing to do with the discussion about discretion. Mark, it has nothing to do with that issue. But you are correct, by the way.
Where was our discretion?
But, Mark, we're talking about this guy and this situation. Whether or not we handled it correctly, that is a whole different discussion. It's a different issue altogether.
That's why it's an entire discussion,
Can I read an email?
Yeah.
Can I read it? Kim says, once I forgot to hang my placard in the window and got a ticket, I took my ticket to the court clerk, and she voided the ticket on her own. I didn't have to go to court, which I would have had.
And either did he. What is that? That's exactly right.
She used her discretion,
That's
Mark.
Right. Her
compassion.
She didn't even have to go to court, though.
The whole point of a law is to serve a greater good. If in fact you know someone, I gave the example of that guy with no legs, but he didn't have a doctor's note, literally could not get a handicap plate unless he spent the money to go to a doctor. I think, yes, motor vehicles should have been able to see him and say, you know what, forget that doctor's note in that particular case. Now, I'm not saying everybody in the world can go and get a ticket or get it without a doctor's note. That's what people say when they don't want to use humanity and compassion. They say, well, if we do that for everybody, everything would go to hell. And that's the problem. That's what you hear a lot in politics.
Here's what John said.
They don't humanize
Wait,
it.
this is good.
Go ahead,
So
Suzanne.
Don emails regarding Mark's ignoring common sense. I don't ever want to hear him whine again about getting his fruit check crossing over into California.
What does that got to do with anything?
Wait, here's another comment. I'm sorry for you, Suzanne, that you have to be married to Mark. I wish Mark would just shut up.
That was an email. I listen to your show.
I'm not even going to read you guys will totally ignore the other ones. That's fine.
This discussion is ridiculous. Tell Mark to, I know, we're getting them all over. Here's the thing. We'll stop discussing this now because the most important thing is the Starbucks thing. Okay? I just want your opinion. That's all I want. And I promise I'm going to go to the phones. In fact, I'll go to the phones now. Mark, go ahead. What is your siding problem, Mark?
I had siding put on from a window and outlet company.
Who did it, Mark? Mark, who did it? What's the name of the company?
Window and siding outlet.
Okay, how'd you find them?
I got them out of the phone book, and I'm a retired veteran.
Okay.
Poor health.
Yes.
And they won't come back, and it's what's happening.
How much did you spend with them, Mark?
About $20,000.
$20,000? How many windows?
8 windows.
What? 8 windows? Wait a minute. 8 windows for $20,000?
No, and the siding also.
Oh, okay. How much? How big is your house?
It's 1,450 square feet. It's a little ranch house, but what's happened is the siding it's an imitation vinyl siding to look like shake shingles, and from the heat, it's blowing extremely bad.
How long has it been on there? When did they finish the job?
Well, they still haven't finished it. They never came back to finish it.
Well, they aren't handling the problems, but is it finished as a job? I understand you want them to do other things, but is the job incomplete?
Yes.
What's incomplete?
Well, the siding, it's separated. The siding is
See, that's not what I'm asking, Mark. Mark, listen very carefully. I'm not saying the job is perfect. I understand that they have to fix things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the job as a job. Did they complete the job? In other words, is all the siding on, or did they leave a whole wall off? Is all of the
it's all done. It's done.
Okay, as far as they're concerned, but as far as you're concerned, there are many warranty issues, right?
Well, it's blowing out. It's sticking away from
And what about the windows? Do you have any problems with the windows?
No, I do not.
That's good. Okay, now, when you call them to fix it, what do they say?
They said, well, they've done a lot of work on it before, and I think they're done finishing doing work. They don't want to.
Do you have a way? Do you have a way to take some photographs of the problems?
I don't have a.
You don't have a smartphone?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you have any friends that could help us and take some pictures for us?
Sounds like a manufacturer's defect, maybe.
Well, or it could be, with vinyl siding, it could be anything.
The thing, Tom, is it's sticking away from the wall. It's blowing like every 3 feet.
I believe you, Mark. I believe you. I'm just trying to get a handle on this. Do you have any friends at all that would be able to snap a picture for us and email it to us?
No, I don't.
Okay. Where are you?
I'm in Loveland.
Shoot. Okay. Where, okay, like what's the nearest exit on I-25? What would it be?
Exit 255.
Exit 2, what road is that?
That's 402.
You know, Szymanski might be able to look at that.
Yeah, but I don't know if he can go all the way up there. Hey, if there's anyone around, so how far into Loveland are you? You go west on 402?
Yes, about 3 miles, 3 or 4 miles.
If there's anyone up north that we could deputize to take a photograph of this, we'll still help you. Don't worry about it, Mark.
It's extremely bad. Now, they won't give you a warranty or anything. And when you look at it, it looks like a wave going across the wall from the heat. It just looks terrible.
Suzanne, let's call the company.
And I don't know what to do.
Just, well, you called us. We're going to help you, okay? We got to take it one step at a time, okay, Mark?
Did he say the company, did they even look at it?
They came out and they repaired a lot of it that was in really.
And did they do a good? Did they do a good job on the repairs they did? Did they do a good job?
Yes, they did. But now it's happening again.
All right, hold on. We'll contact this company. Have you ever thought of something and you thought, hey, that's a good idea. I ought to protect it. Well, you should. And I'll tell you what, Trenner Law is the guy to do it. I've had so many ideas over the years that were stolen from me. You know, it's not who thinks of it first anymore. It's who patents it first. Same with copywriting. You got a copyright, patent, trademark, call Mark Trenner. He's local, he's live, he's inexpensive. Really, don't go to the internet for these rip-off companies. Go to Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. Look for him on my referral list, 720-221-3708. He even has a free book, an inventor's guide that'll help you, and trademark basics, 720-221-3708.
The guy.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
And then he played the pool man in the Birdcage.
Is he a good actor?
Oh my gosh, that's him. How much fun would it be to have, they're letting these celebrities now host some of these segments, and all they're doing is laughing the whole time. This guy is so talented. I have never seen an actor take these roles on and just be like so over the top on what. Did you see the story of Bernie Madoff, Wizard of Lies?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Is it a movie or is
It's
it
an HBO.
Just go miniseries or movie?
It's a movie.
It's just one movie.
One movie.
Are you on
Michelle
HBO?
Pfeiffer plays.
Oh yeah, of course.
Michelle Pfeiffer plays his wife, and then what really happened with the boys and the whole Ponzi scheme.
Is he still alive or did he kill himself? Do you know?
No,
His son killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's all in the show.
He's still in jail.
But Robert De Niro plays the best Bernie Madoff.
He's good.
The one that got the Oscar, oh gosh, what was it? Phenomenal. Kate Blanchett played her in, well, it was loosely based on her story, but it was it Blue Jasmine? Is that what the name of the movie was?
Yeah.
Oh, she was so good.
I like that movie.
Blue Jasmine, did you see it? Where she was just cuckoo for cocoa and she was in such denial that she didn't have all that.
Is not something you should do on your own.
Suzanne, this email is brutal.
I personally know Ron and Jack Larson, and
Which one?
professionalism. They understand. They don't.
Can he handle the truth?
You can't even handle it.
Well, it's not the truth, it's their opinion.
Tax relief.
Yeah, he refuses to see any of the ones, and I agree with you.
This is what happens. You're so emphatic.
I don't know where they are, Mark.
Where
are they? What is this cashier's check for?
Larson Tax, or check him out at LarsonTaxRelief.com. That's 844 LA.
It's because you're so emphatic, and you can complete a sentence. So now everyone hates Mark. So congratulations. Nice going.
You know what? It doesn't matter to me. I still speak the truth. You can't let people keep those things.
Look, if he was out over at the Safeway or something, but this is iHeart, he should have investigated it, and he should have helped her.
He did
But
investigate
he shouldn't have
it.
just cut him off. I don't want to say at the knees, because that's not a good pun, but it seems like it was a little.
The fact is, you shouldn't have expired placards out there.
And I would say most people that have handicap.
I wrote him another email again
Thank you,
saying,
Tom.
I apologize for the.
That's right.
Did you really?
Yeah. Because I think he was probably doing what he's always
Right, and then you were, the whole thread that ran through the whole email was you needed to offer grace, and there's no grace in that. Poor Tom. He shouldn't have sent me the email. So Mark, you were sucking through a straw. Well, somebody side with me.
Actually, I saw about 4 emails.
I didn't see any Mark, but you can forward. You can let me know where they are.
Well, just tell her to send them to you.
Mark's saying he's getting a ton of email in
I
support
didn't say
of
a
him.
ton. I said 4.
He's saying that you're skewing the results. Oh, she's not listening.
And I didn't say she was skewing the results.
Whoa, Mark, they've got enough issues. I mean, Tom. You don't need to be throwing salt into the wound.
I'm going to.
I'm going to. He's honest.
$24,000 for just a few days' work.
Here's the thing, the guy shouldn't have sent an email blasting Tom, because then Tom's just like...
Who?
The Asperger's kicks in and he has to blast.
I don't think he was blasting you guys.
No, he wasn't.
Well,
He was being
lack
very-
of communication. He's accusing you of something.
He wasn't being a jerk.
No, I think he really was looking for answers.
I'm sure he can't wait to come back here and...
I thought
Oh,
Suzanne,
please.
actually, I thought she wrote to me. Suzanne, Mark's saying you're skewing the results, not sending a ton of email in support of him.
I got one. I got one.
Tom doesn't like anyone agreeing with him. Doesn't like it when someone disagrees with him, and on this one I agree with Mark. I was going to say that on the air when I had a chance.
Well, I've gotten multiple. Maybe they're coming just to me.
Why is he getting multiple?
I already deleted them.
All right.
It's, you know the truth.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used car, truck,
SUV or van, they have a whole slew of them. Even convertibles and little two-seaters if you want them. They have all price ranges too, all colors, makes, models. They pride themselves at variety. They also pride themselves at really getting you financed with 40 lenders to choose from. All the prices clearly marked, and also high values for trades because they sell most of them right there. Give them a look. Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646. That's 63rd and Federal, Rockies. Okay, let's talk. We have Mark with the siding problem. We didn't get a follow-up yet, but we're trying to get a hold of that company. Mark, we're going to try to help you, man. You sound like you're really desperate there, and I don't blame you. You spent a lot of money to spruce up your house. Let's talk to Joe. Joe, sorry for waiting. What's going on, Joe? Are you there, Joe? Man, I'm hoping she didn't hang up. I'm going to put her on hold just in case she's still there. Ryan, what's happening? Hello, Ryan.
Hi, how are you doing, Tom?
Good, man. What's going on?
Hey, real quick, before I get going, I'm up kind of in Fort Collins right now. I can go swing by on my way back down to Denver and take some pictures.
That would be great. That would be great. I'm going to have Suzanne talk to you after me. So what's happening?
Oh, okay, great. Well, I have about a couple months ago, I got rear-ended. The other insurance company took fault, and I'm driving a rental car. So I had kind of listened to your comments about the Uber driver and everything back a little while ago. If I have a windshield that broke, if I got a broken windshield because of just driving and everything on this rental, because I have it because of that accident, am I liable for the damage to the windshield or no?
Well, you're not negligent and liable in that way. You're liable by agreement. So, in other words, it's really not your fault sometimes when something like this happens, but you agreed to pay for all damages, and that's the biggest pain in the ass. That's why a lot of people take that loss waiver. And you pay the extra few bucks a day, and there's no questions asked. The loss waiver also helps for what Mark brought up earlier, and that's loss of use. If you have insurance that pays for the car, you could be in big trouble if that car is out of commission for a month.
That's big time money.
Yeah, and it's a viable claim they have against you. I always personally take the damage waiver when we rent cars. I do, just to protect myself. But some people don't. And I believe I'm being told that some policies do cover loss of use now. I'm not sure, but some ordinary policies. So anyway, you are responsible, yes. Now, Mark. I'm sorry. Mark is the one we're working on right now. So we're getting new calls up. I want to give you a scenario. Please listen, okay? You got to kind of visualize this. There is a drive-through at Starbucks, and there's two ways to enter. Okay, you have to turn in off the street. You can either be on the same side and turn right into the drive-through, or you can be coming from the opposite direction and turn left. Does that make sense? Right? Okay, you got that visual.
And they merge into one lane?
Well, yeah. You turn right and move in. Now, most people line up on the right side of the street and turn right. But every once in a while, people come off of Colorado Boulevard and pull up to the Starbucks, and they have to turn left. Now, normally, here's what happens. If there are 6 cars on the right side, they all turn right, and if somebody scoots in and has to turn right, they wait for those 6 cars, or they wait to their place in line and then turn left and go into the line. So I was in line today, and there were about 8 cars, a lot of cars, turning right into Starbucks, and 1 car came along and was waiting to turn left. Now, we had 8 cars there.
Do they impede traffic while they're turning left?
No.
Okay.
They follow the rules. They're just off to the side of the street, and we're off to the side. We're off to the right. They're off to the right as well on their right. And then we turn right to go into the drive-thru, or they turn left. Normally, people wait their turn. This person tried to make the argument with their hand signals that it should be every other car. Now, I'm thinking, wait a minute. If I'm waiting there already 15 minutes and I had 6 cars in line, why should that person just freaking pull in and get to be next? Why is that? You know, I think it's logical. No matter where you're turning from, whoever was there first, it's like a 4-way stop. If she came in later, or he, and there are 6 cars ahead of you, you wait for that 6th car and then turn left into the drive-thru. But when we were coming in, she starts scooting in. And she's waving her hands, and I said no. I said it's you know, there were 6 cars behind you. I didn't really talk to her. I was just saying no, you know, and I just pointed my finger, you know, and so she was, I could tell, visibly upset. Now, why does someone assume they can come along? I know you might think I need to get a life, but why does someone assume that you can simply pull up and be next when people have been waiting 15 minutes? Does that seem fair to you?
No, but then you bought her a coffee.
Oh, I did, because I wouldn't let her in. I just figured, you know, because there were people behind me too. So I went in, and then I did. I wasn't going to mention that, but at the window, I felt a little bad about it, so I paid for her coffee behind me. And I want your opinion.
But first you have to tell them what you order.
No.
And yes,
No,
you
I'm
do.
not going-
Yes,
no,
you do.
no.
Yes, you do. You have to tell them what you order.
Why?
Every time.
Nobody cares.
No, you do.
Yeah, see, you're going to complain when I say this.
It's a big insight into
No,
who
go
you
ahead,
are.
Suzanne. You heard? Did you hear the Starbucks story or not?
No, I didn't. I've been trying to get hold of the
All right.
siding people.
Okay, that's more important. Yes, go ahead.
Now, I'm just saying. I agree
in the
with
scheme of things,
I agree with you
in the scheme of things. It's not important. I understand.
Well, yeah, I understand that. But if I'm like getting on 25. Okay.
Right.
And I got to merge on 25. And there's 1,000 cars behind me because it goes all the way to Wyoming or
whatever.
Should I wait for those 1,000 cars to get on and merge?
No, you merge in with traffic. That's what a merge lane is made for.
But isn't she kind of merging? How would she know if the line... what happens if the line was... I'm just playing devil's advocate because generally I agree with you on this one. But what happens if it's 50 long? Does she just say forget it and go all the way around and get into the 50-car line?
Well, first of all, then if it was 50-car long, what you're saying is anybody could hop out of that line.
Why didn't
go
you use
around
your discretion and just let her in?
So I could have. But you know what? I didn't want to. I was pissed this morning because I figured, what balls do you have to pull in and think you can go next? I mean, really, everybody in that line is important. Not me, but everyone. Why do you assume that just because you pulled up from the other side, you get to go first? I know it's not important, folks, but I know it's kind of like, you know...
How about if she was
It's kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's the kind of topic that you say isn't important, but it comes up. So if I'm waiting to turn right, there's 4 cars ahead of me, 4 cars behind me. She pulls in and expects to be the very next car. It's unfair.
And do you know why the line is so long? Because when Tom orders his drink, it's about a 20-minute order.
No, it is.
So she probably recognized him.
Stephanie, my drink is not that bad. Okay, you want to know what it is? A Quad Grande sugar-free vanilla breve latte with 3 Splendas. Is that bad?
Okay, but repeat it, Mark. Repeat it. What did you just say?
I couldn't repeat it. It sounded kind of girl.
A Quad Grande sugar-free vanilla breve latte with 3 Splendas.
And a carnation.
Now, that's not bad. And about 80% of the time, they get it correctly. Okay, we're going to go. I just want your opinion on this, okay? What about you, Mike? Go ahead.
Thanks, Tom. This reminds me of when I'm standing in line, and I'm third or fourth in line. I finally get to the front, to the cashier, and they decide to take a phone order as if that person is more important.
Oh, I hate that.
It drives me crazy, and they're on the phone for 5 minutes trying to help this person who is sitting on their couch enjoying themselves, and I'm there to spend money.
You're
I've
right.
Walked out so many times.
You're right.
I'm like, why don't they just put
auto
that
parts
person
stores.
on hold, finish till the line is done, and then take the call?
You know, auto parts stores, you're right. We had a line of people one time at an auto parts store. They all had money in hand ready to cash out, and this guy is on the phone looking for availability of some filter, and I'm thinking, I said, hey, bud, do you see all these people with money in their hand? You don't even know if the guy on the phone's going to come in or not. I mean, I totally agree. What about this one? You're in the supermarket, you're like second or third. They open up a new line. The person in front of you, you know, is buying for Armageddon and the Great Tribulation. So they got like baskets and baskets, and they open up the next line, and the guy way in the back goes first in that line instead of them moving over. Like, you know what I'm saying? They should just move over. I'm a big thing on lines. Eric, go ahead. Eric.
So I'm perplexed. I've been listening to you for a long time. You always talk about, you know, getting your best value and this and that. So I'm perplexed as to why you would spend $10 at Starbucks instead of $2 at
God bless you, Eric. I agree. Or 99 cents at McDonald's.
I have never bought coffee from Starbucks.
You know what? You are right.
Something overpriced and junk.
You're right, though, when it comes to pricing. You're right. But it's not $10. But I will tell you, you are absolutely correct. I have no defense, no justification whatsoever. None. I don't. And you know, technically, if you really look at it, it isn't all that great. But it's consistent. I think you buy consistency when you go to Starbucks, because you always know what you're going to get.
I think your car just drives there. I don't think you have any control anymore.
No, it's actually better coffee. It's stronger.
I don't think
it's
it is,
richer.
actually.
It tastes like lighter fluid.
There are some great coffee companies, but they're out of the way. Here's the other thing. If you go to a 7-Eleven, you don't know the coffee's going to be the same from day to day. You have no idea.
No, but at McDonald's you do.
Do you?
Yeah, they're very consistent.
Well, that might be something.
And they're $1.
Tom has a machine, and he's quite the barista, so I don't understand why he goes to Starbucks.
Well, I don't want to see. I don't like, you know, making. I like that drive-through, get in, get out most of the time when people aren't cutting in your line. What do you guys think? Just give me a call, and we got more coming up.
I just have one word. R-I-T-Z.
Nobody would know it.
No, we're not going to start that now.
That's some drink.
People
sugar-free vanilla.
I had to write it down. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And he goes, you forgot the 3 Splendas. You forgot the 1 pump of sugar-free vanilla.
Getting it right.
You forgot that 1 shot of caramel. No. They know him now, and they all start laughing as soon as he opens his mouth. They go, oh, we know this guy.
But people who do Starbucks know their order, and it's almost like a song. Like 2 all beef patties, special sauce on the cheese pickles.
Oh my God, sugar-free vanilla. 1 pump caramel, 3 Splenda. It's like, Tom. When I'm driving, I say, Tom, do it, because I myself.
Quad Grande, sugar-free vanilla, brave latte. Breve latte. I've never heard of breve.
Half and half.
Oh, really?
Come on, Suzanne. You got to get the lingo.
My order is grande latte.
It's like a song.
Or triple venti latte. It's one of
What's yours? Do you drink coffee? I've never seen
Large, darkest you have. That's what I always say.
You should have seen him on vacation with me and the kids get Starbucks.
Get so pissed.
Tom has an app. He loves
$24.
Yeah, you and the 3 people, man, you're going to come out of there 30
And I get black coffee.
$30, man. Tom, you spent a college tuition on your ridiculous drink.
My mom's the same way though, man. Starbucks 2-3 times a day. Oh shit. All we get her is Starbucks gift cards. I couldn't even. It's like his.
And where, when, and all that.
So, well, he sent me the flyer. Maybe I should just get
That
back
guy
to you.
just rolled his eyes. You
Can
know
we
he
put
did.
it on, can we put it on?
What did that troubleshooter just say?
Yeah,
On
good.
blog
Just one-
He's obviously a sponsor, right?
What did he say?
Breve.
Breve means Steve Happen
And he's going to be in on Monday. He's just hoping somebody can talk about the flowers.
I'm like,
on
no,
Monday.
that is such a diva drink. Did you hear Mark said? Sounds like a girl.
I bit my tongue on it. I had a better line, but I didn't use it.
No, you can't. No, but my son said, Mom.
Mark, what is well done?
Me arguing. I'm sending you.
He's sending me. Oh, come on.
Those are all the ones that come right to me.
I had Stephen Tubbs for Advanced Exteriors when my home got nailed by hail a couple
You
of
have good
years
ones?
ago.
I had 4. I told you I had 4. I literally had 4.
To have Advanced Exteriors on my side.
I thought Suzanne was forwarding them, but they came right to me.
When he was going after the pharmacist, I wrote, this is unnecessary. Stop. And you know what he writes?
Which one? What pharmacist?
R-A-T.
Walgreens.
This is what he texts back to me.
Oh, I wasn't here.
I-N-G-S.
That's it.
Like you already have radio.
What happened? What did Walgreens do?
1 pill, 2 pill, 3 pill, 4. He's making fun of pharmacists while they're just.
Fun day.
It was so.
But what happened? What got you?
Oh, because he couldn't get his prescription for his.
Because they said it
For his high
had
blood
been 30 days, and I said, why do I have to run out? And they said, because that's the way we do it. And I said,
Is it a narcotic?
No, but
I
that's
said,
why
it's
they're
not.
doing it, because.
But they do it with antibiotics too, and I said, it's not.
With antibiotics?
Yeah, well, that's
And
what
I said,
people were
well,
calling
it's
it about.
self-pay. What difference does it make? And they said, because we have a policy. I said, but it makes no sense. What do you care? My doctor gave me the prescription now. If he didn't want it filled, look at the date. In fact, the date was even, I had held it a while. I said, if he didn't want it filled, why would he give it to
Mark,
me?
it was across the board changes at the pharmacy. But he came up, this one caller called
I
him
took
an app.
everything away from Walgreens.
Listen, an
I
app
would never
that
go
you
there
can type
again.
in your medication and it will tell you the pharmacist that has the least, the lowest price. I mean, that was a great show, but he didn't need to go after pharmacists. And he was, I was like, stop going after.
He could have used discretion. Is what you're saying.
Mark, what is this comment?
He doesn't have to, well, and listen, don't.
Which one?
I can't see it because I'm not logged on.
Mark, just know, mentally ill, handicap, senior, veteran, there's no, the rules don't apply. Tom gives everyone grace.
Like the comment, I've never heard of it.
Is it on Facebook?
Yeah, and I don't know why I'm getting a
That one,
notification.
And I'll
he
tell
was
you
very
why.
hard on pharmacists.
And I'm gonna, that was ridiculous.
I don't see
I'm gonna
anything.
tell you why, because his mother.
I wonder why you see it though, and I don't.
Mother who was left in poverty, he watched her as a little boy get taken advantage of, that's why.
Which is weird because I'm no longer a user.
Get help with highly.
But what did he say? He says, oh, the junior year, they teach them colors.
Blue, paint shapes, colors.
And when they're seniors, they give them shades.
First numbers, then
So
colors, then
Oh,
shapes.
well,
I failed trying.
See, you're a troublemaker, you know you're.
I don't want to piss people off where they actually really don't like me. I don't mind if I frustrate them a little, but I don't want to like.
Too late, too late.
The one that called in was very nice. She said, hey, I was just joking. It was just, and she said, yeah.
Oh, the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Most of the time he's hysterical. But
I don't know, man. You probably put a nail in your coffin wanting all the DMV people to have discretion on who drives and who doesn't.
What about Starbucks?
Tom, that is the most ridiculous.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome.
A caramel grande latte with 3 pumps of vanilla, a strawberry, and a
Forget Breve.
Mark, you're so basic.
Mark, what do you order at Starbucks?
Tall, dark,
large,
and
dark
in charge.
coffee.
Bill, what is your comment, sir?
Well, I can't get by Mark's hypocrisy. He wants to litigate a case against a crippled person trying to use a handicap spot, but when it comes to getting the coffee, he's all about breaking the rules of the road. What does the intersection say?
I'm anti whatever Tom's thinking at the time.
See, do you notice he's just disagreeing with me, Bill?
Sometimes he'll switch up, and then I'll come in the other direction.
So, Bill, what would you do if you're 6 cars back and that other person pulls right up and wants to be next? Every other car. Would it bother you a little?
Flip them off?
Yeah, it would. There you go. I didn't flip them off, but I I did shake my finger no, like no, no, no. You know, that one where you hold your hand still and you move the index finger left, right, left, right, left. You know, the swaying finger, not the
grocery line.
And then he bought her coffee.
Well, yes, because I felt a little bad. I wouldn't let her in. I literally would not let her in.
I wonder what she was
thinking. I just thought it was wrong. I made sure I put the visor down and my sunglasses on, and then wouldn't let her in. Because I didn't want to be seen being petty. And then
if you really wanted to punish her, you said, make the same drink you made for me and give it to her.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said, I want to pay for that person behind me, and I wanted to leave a note, but I didn't go that far. So the point is, have you seen people that make believe they don't notice the line and walk up in front? You could be at a theater, you could be at a store. I just think that is a sense of entitlement. They're rude. They feel like they're the only person in the world. I would never do that. Never.
It is a little bizarre when there's two entrances like that, though.
I mean, two ways to enter. It's one entrance. Yeah. Well, first of all, they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be lining up on the right side. Most cars do. 90% of them do. But a lot of people coming from the other direction, they don't come around and make a U-turn. They just stay there and wait. I don't mind if they wait for their place, but they don't. They feel like it should be every other car. Well, if that's the case, then anyone in line could just say, hop out, go around, and come back that way. Have you ever done that at a big, giant intersection where
it's amazing how
crowded?
Someone breaking that rule irritates you so much, but other rules you want to apply discretion.
There was no rule. There was no rule. Is Mark there now?
He already has an update for us. You should.
Mark, what happened?
And just so you know, Tom, all their voicemails were full, so I've texted the owner and waiting for him to get back to my cell phone.
What update could Mark possibly have while he was on hold? Go ahead, Mark.
The technician just showed up. I don't know if it was a coincidence or what.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidence. I just don't.
Well,
I'm having a feeling. I'm having a feeling it has something to do with this. Now, be nice to him and say, "Look, I just need you to fix these things." And we have that other guy, Suzanne. Did you talk to that other guy that said he was going to take a picture for us?
I have several guys who've called offering to go take pictures. I'm going to take one up on that.
Yeah,
and,
we need to get a deputy up north.
Okay.
Because he said he was down that 402, right? And we want to have somebody go there and take a picture. We're going to need some photographs. So, Mark, you say you're a disabled veteran?
Well, I'm not disabled. I just.
Oh, I'm sorry, retired.
Hospital. No, I just got out of the hospital and I have prostate cancer, and I'm not in very good health, and I just can't fight these people anymore.
You don't have to. Hey, do you live alone?
What?
Do you live alone?
Yes, I do.
I wonder if the tech would talk to us.
Do you have any kids, Mark?
Yeah, but they're in Basalt.
How's your cancer doing right now?
Yeah, hopefully it's in remission.
It wasn't too aggressive? Did you catch it quickly?
Hopefully. Do you want to talk to this technician?
I think that'd be a great idea. Just see what's wrong with it.
Well, you mean on the air right now?
He's right here. I can get him.
Well, I don't want to irritate him if he's there to fix it.
No, you won't irritate him.
Well, you make sure he knows. Hold on. Make sure he knows he is going on a radio show.
Use some discretion.
Right. Okay.
Suzanne, you talk to him first. Make sure he knows exactly what's happening. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. There is what you call justice, which has nothing to do with rules. It's just wrong or right, right? Saving seats, for example, on an airline, wrong.
Oh, goodness gracious.
When you get seating priority and somebody else, you pay for seating priority for one, I pay for seating priority, but when I get there, you are saving 8 seats for people who are in Group C. That is, in my opinion, absolutely wrong. You shouldn't be able to do it.
What happens if they were handicapped?
Well, they should have a whole section. I don't mind that. But I'm saying as far as people getting on a plane at Southwest and saving seats.
Stephanie, were you there when this
Oh, no, I just
happened?
had a flashback. He's in the very back row, and these two giant, sweaty baseball fans are sandwiching him in the middle. I laughed so hard.
Why didn't you snap a picture?
No.
I
felt
couldn't
so badly
believe
for him.
it.
And he was like in a zen mode. He had his head down and his eyes closed and his hands
I was
together like
trying
in
to
a praying
meditate.
motion. And he was just trying to go to this happy place.
Right.
I just couldn't
Exactly.
stop laughing. It was poor Tom.
Okay, now Mark, go ahead. What is your comment? Man, we have a lot of Marks today. Go ahead, Mark.
Hello, Tom.
Yes, sir.
About your comment about some people cutting in line.
Yeah.
Well, some people are proud and they esteem themselves above others.
They do.
And they think that they're entitled and they shouldn't have to wait.
That's exactly right. You're right, and it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, pride is sin. It's a bad thing. It can make you do stupid things and get into trouble. It's best to be humble and do the right thing.
I think so. I really do. And I totally agree with you.
That was well said.
Yes, I totally agree with him. Gabe, what is your comment?
Yeah, you've been at McDonald's and seen their new drive-thru windows, right? It got two.
You mean with the two windows?
Right, no, two stand up in the corner and just pull in and go back.
Two completely different lines.
Yeah. What about it, though? What about it? Do you like it?
That's what they do.
They got around the problem by having two entrances, but no matter what, you're always going to have people.
It amazes me there's not a Starbucks like on the other side of the parking lot. They're everywhere.
Now you're seeing them in all the supermarkets.
No, they're not. They're not in every terminal at DIA.
That's right. DIA, I think, has a deal with, what's the name of that place?
Caribou Coffee.
Yeah. I specifically cannot find a Starbucks. Hey, Trudy.
Hello, Tom.
What's going on?
Tom?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to tell you, you talk about lines. My husband drove me to work the other day, and we're in line at McDonald's to get, orange juice and whatnot, and finally get to the next car to get our order in, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting. It turns out the lady didn't have any money and took off, but in the meantime, we're waiting.
Wow.
So that was, I was really mad. Now, the other thing, Tagawa Gardens, that place is really to be commended. I was out, they give you kitty dollars,
It's a, what do you call it, nursery, right? It's or a greenhouse.
Yeah, right off of Parker.
Right.
Anyway, if you buy a bunch of stuff, they give you, coupons, so to speak.
Yes.
For the next time you get in. And they've got this special going from June 16th for a month, I think. Well, I lost my coupon. And
what happened?
So I called the manager, and she sent me some coupons. And I just made it up, but that's how legitimate these people are. So I was really
Trudy, that's very
that.
good. That's very good. They believed you that you had some coupons and they slipped them to you. I'll tell you what, good companies don't stick by the black and white rules to the letter. They have discretion to do the right thing.
What's the name of that drink you order again?
Yeah. It's a Quad Grande sugar-free vanilla breve latte with 3 Splendas.
Perfect.
All right. By the way, seriously now, I got to tell you something. Flexident is the place to get your car fixed if you're looking for paintless dent repair. Nick has 40 years experience, and what's important about it is all his people have it too. And if you get hail damage, you do not want to mess with the paint unless you have to. And if there's no damage, they can keep it that way. Downtime is minimized. Flexident. Call now. Save $500 on big jobs. 303-619-6273. Preferred by insurance companies. 303-619-6273. Look for FlexidentColorado.com.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
You always have to make a statement, don't you?
A lot of comments.
Hey, you know what? I would suggest that Mark stop referring to himself as an advocate for the devil. I mean, I don't know.
People use that expression.
And then people use a
Devil's
lot of
advocate, being a devil's advocate.
Yeah, and what's up with the Bloody Mary? I mean, all of these terms get kind of it's a drink. Whoever came up with that?
I think it was Mary, the Queen of England, that came up with it. I think that's right. No, I don't think it's a religion.
Now, did you know that Paul McCartney, that song,
More than a roof to make
Mother Mary comes to me and says, let it be, was about his actual mother, because she used to always say, Paul, let it be, let it be. A lot of people think he's talking about the black mother. No, he's talking about his own mother.
I would guess a good barista, if you just gave her an order, not actually ordering, but said, here's someone's drink, is it male or female, would be probably 95% correct. Wouldn't you think so?
What do you mean?
A good barista, if you just said, like, example, male or female, large black coffee, they're going to say male. I would say if you gave them the name, they would generally be
So if
right.
I said quad grande, sugar-free vanilla breve latte with 3 Splendas, it would be female?
They'd say, you want a tampon with that?
And what about your significant other?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And what will you have?
What will you have? That's a good one to ask a barista. You're right.
I bet they could, most of them.
690-0100.
I bet like the caramel and the chocolate
Double pump?
that aren't diet are probably mostly male, or kids.
Just because you've been told you're bone on bone. If you want options other
Griffin
than
likes the
surgery,
chai,
seeing a doctor who's
tea.
focused on deferring for
The cold tea?
Yeah.
total knee replacement is
Yeah.
key.
Actually, their tea is good, but I refuse to pay $5 for tea.
Well, I get the tea, like that's what I brought in here, and that's $2.
So we ask,
I just had the tea. I love it.
You have the green tea. I bring you green tea.
Their tea is
I'm sorry, but their coffee is
It's
it's lighter
Charbucks.
fluid. It's
Charbucks.
It's so thick. It almost feels like it's been cooking for a couple weeks, and they just reheated it, and it's so
really
thick.
get coffee
It's like
because I like the buzz.
Our new coffee machine
I
makes
like
it
the
like that.
stimulation.
it wakes you up.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, really, I think that's the
Well, that's
reason.
because you're addicted to it. But if you cut yourself
I'm not
off of it,
addicted to
you
it.
would be fine. You would need it.
Now you tell if you're addicted to coffee, you don't have it for 3 days. If you start getting headaches, your body's withdrawing.
Oh, he would definitely get headaches. If you did not have coffee for 3 days, oh yes. Why don't you try that experiment when I go visit my mom and dad?
Yeah, don't do it.
Try it with Mark and Suzanne. Deputy Dan. If I drink any sort of tea or caffeine after 2 o'clock, I won't be able to sleep.
I never have coffee after morning,
I
ever.
hate coffee.
Suzanne can have it, well, she will never have it at night, but she'll have it during the day all the time.
No.
Well, not all the time, actually.
But she likes it strong too, right? She's got
Oh,
So, you know, I'm listening to all these,
Weekend.
I'm listening to all these problems, and Griffin just got back from Guatemala. And apparently where he was, they take all the trash from all of Central America and they dump it in this one section where he found himself outside of Guatemala City.
It's a big,
They all live there, the little children with no parents.
You,
And this little
you
baby,
look up the Guatemalan dump. If they live there now, people live there in the trash, and they recycle
no,
things.
I'm thinking, you know, they would
They
kill to
wait for
have
the fresh
a
deliveries.
problem at Starbucks with their...
Right. They wait there for the fresh deliveries to get food.
That's
No, this little baby girl, somebody took her toy that she found in the dump. Look at her,
That's a
Mark.
real picture of a real girl.
You should post this after your Starbucks discussion. This is reality right here. 80% of the world lives like this.
Not like that, though, right?
Yes, Tom. He didn't even know what a delete was in India. 250 million people are in a caste system where their delete is translated to untouchable.
They don't even have plumbing in most of India.
No, and they don't either. I mean,
Well, there, my God.
and
they
so
have nothing.
Griffin, I'm telling you, he came back shocked and awed.
It's probably good for them.
We all should go there.
You got to check your calendars. Call Denver Spine. Call the Stem Cell Institute of America. And they have affiliated clinics here, and they do some these seminars. You got to go to find one. What Stem Cell did for me is unbelievable. You can experience it for any joint that you have. Now, here's what I want to tell you. These life-changing seminars are what they do to give you all the information you need. No one expects you to make an appointment blindly. That's what's great about this. There is no obligation. It's free. They just want you to make a reservation because they fill up quickly. So please call them and then find out about stem cell therapy before you decide if you want it or not. But if you're in pain, if you're contemplating surgery, this could be a game changer. 855-262-4040. 855-262-4040. Okay? Go there to the seminar. Tell me what you think. 855-262-4040. Stem Cell Institute of America. Okay, so we have this guy at Mark's house now from the company he said that was unresponsive. We think we had something to do with that. Suzanne, do you have the tech on the line? Is she talking to him now, Bruiser? Is that what she's doing? Are you talking to him now, Suzanne? Can you... Did he want to talk or not?
Oh, no, he didn't.
I didn't think he would. So, he is fixing the problem, though, he said, right? Should we mark this solved, or we got to wait for this?
Well,
right?
you might want to ask Mark. He's holding. I don't know what the tech told him. He just said he was not coming on the air.
So, Mark, was the tech upset?
No, it was very congenial.
Okay, good. Let's just let them do their job and then judge them, okay?
All right, should we take pictures? Well, I don't have a camera.
No, we have somebody coming by to take some photos. So they're going to say they're from, they're a deputy of the Tom Martino show, and then we're going to deputize them on the spot, get the photographs. It'll be fun. All right? Rob, what's happening in your life, Rob?
I have an adult stepdaughter who asked if there's a way for me to adopt her.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Is there a reason for it?
Just, I've raised her since she was basically 8, and she's 19 now, and I think she just wants,
I was adopted at age 28, I believe it was, when I was in Denver. And I have a show, obviously, and I have volunteers from time to time, and there was a guy who was called, well, his name was John, okay, John Feast. And John, people used to call him Feist, but it was John Feast, and John was a good guy, and he knew my story about growing up without the dad and being on my own, and so he came in one day with some paperwork and a plaque and decided he wanted to be my father, and he asked if I would be his son. I was 28 years old. It was in Denver, and we did it on the air, and he became my legally adopted father. For real. For real. And that was a wonderful thing. So we used to call him on the show Father John. People didn't know why we called him that. They thought it had something to do with the priesthood, but it had to do with being, a dad. Father John, we called him, and that was the genesis of that.
So, Rob, if you just Google IDF 496, all the instructions are laid out if you live in Colorado.
And it's called an adult adoption. Yes,
that's exactly what it is.
It's called an adult adoption, and there are many reasons people do it. Some people do it for estate planning. They want to leave stuff to people, and they feel better if they're, if they're listed as a son or a daughter, and it's just that way. Okay. Boy, did his sons get nervous. Holy crap. But I said, look, I don't want a dime from this guy.
They thought you were moving in.
Yeah. But, and
it sounds like it's just a formality with him that is the father that she sees, and he just...
That's right.
Yeah, he's just making it legal.
Right. It's truly a formality, but they actually do it, though. I mean, it's really
because
done.
I remember when I adopted my little boy, they said, why do you want Stephanie
but he
to
was
be...
a babe. I mean,
he was 4 or 5, and they
I thought
said...
he was 3.
Well, when I met him.
Okay. Yeah.
But they said, why do you want Stephanie to be your mom? And he said, because she is. And the judge said, okay.
That's funny.
That was
That's
cute.
funny. And so, so it's... I don't think, though, we didn't even go to court, though. I don't think adults would even have to show up, would they, Mark? I think
you just file the petition, a judge signs off on it.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk to yet another Mark. Go ahead.
How you guys doing today?
Good, man. What's going on? I've had a record number of Marks today. It's unbelievable. Go ahead, sir.
That's a good thing. Marks are good people.
Well, I wonder what the name means, actually. I don't even know what it means. I should, but I don't. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mark.
I think I avoided a real estate scam. Listening to your show over the years, I kind of caught the red flag.
What happened?
Well, I started seeing this woman, and only thing out of her mouth would be, I need a house. You got to get a house marked. If you want to be with me, you're going to get me a house.
Oh, my gosh. How long did you know her? Mark, how long did you know her?
I met her right after Christmas, but then I did the Tom Martino using my judgment call. She said she was divorced, ran down the divorce thing. Yeah, she's divorced, and she told me that she had properties in Wells County, but there's no record of it, because if you sell in the divorce property settlement, she would have had money, but there was nothing there, Tom. And she flat out said, I get my house first before marriage.
Well, hold on a second. I want to talk to you. Don't hang up. I want to talk about this because it's possible that this could be a scam that's going around or that other people may want to look out for. So please hang out. I would love to hear this. We'll be back with a lot more. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. I'm going to tell you about a gun safety class for getting your permit coming up and how to take part. It's this Sunday. You might want to mark out a few hours on Sunday to take this course. We'll tell you about it coming up.
Due to the sensitive nature of my job, I am forced to disguise my voice.
The cheapest way to buy a new air conditioner.
Is he getting any results from this one, did he tell you? Yes. He is. Excellent. From this? Good. That's good.
It seems like every time I unsubscribe from junk mail, I get 3 new ones to unsubscribe
Yeah,
from.
I always wondered if you're just like telling them I'm real.
I'm a real one. I have to hit it. Sell it to others.
And sometimes you're from like big companies too.
Talk about how you can help home.
I'm thinking, now, where did these people come from?
Encompassing roadmap to buying your next home. Our 3-week closing guarantee where we underwrite and approve your loan up front. Our home buyer scouting report where you search.
Does Ideal got a sweat right after this too?
That works for you.
Next break.
Close quickly without overpaying.
And they clearly don't know who I am. Regrowing hair protocol. And all of them are. How to stop your baldness today. I'm like, they're not, what's it called? Fishing or...
Delete that one.
Well, I keep saying, alright, I'll unsubscribe. And then, honestly, I'll get 4 more.
I think that's the way it works.
I need him. He is so much better than, yeah. I love him. Mike? Well,
No, I'm talking to Kevin right now.
Oh, I think he's better? I think he's
Suspect shouted, "Allah Akbar," before stabbing Officer Jeff Neville several times.
So what did you guys do on your trip?
Saw a couple shows, went to a wedding.
And federal law
beach?
God, Top Golf.
No, did you hear how cold it
Bowling.
No, you did go to the beach though.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
we
didn't have
we
pictures.
just walked out and we didn't go.
Yeah.
The airport still closed.
June is not.
There was a couple people in wetsuits.
Yeah.
The waves there are like this big and a couple people with surfboards. I'm just looking at them.
California's cold water all up and down the coast.
It is. It's
Because it comes from
I
Alaska.
can't. I absolutely hate the state. I hate it. When I looked at the tax on the hotel rooms, having to stop in the middle of the highway to check for oranges, I mean, it's just the dumbest shit. Gasoline went up while we were there, another 12 cents.
Tom,
Well, those are their rules and codes and regulations and...
Do you know what he says when he goes to California? He says everyone here thinks they've got the part, and every dog is a service dog. And I started watching people like get out of their leased cars, you know, and he goes, yeah, he got the part.
Our hotel would text us saying, hey, we'll knock $5 off the bill if you don't want a maid to come in today. I'm thinking, that's the oddest damn, I've never had anything like that anywhere else in the world. They're going to give me $5 off my $400 a night bill, not to clean the room.
That is weird. I've never
heard of that either. They do say that, you know, if you can use your towels again, don't put them on the floor.
I throw all that shit on the floor.
What's the
You're
point
saving
of staying
water.
in a hotel?
At $400 a night, there's no way I'm not going to get, you're not going to get maids.
For the water saving.
The longest in the northern hemisphere.
After the show, I want to show you a video of ads.
Oh, I want to see it.
Yeah, if you have time. Just
Jump off the building.
Seriously?
the stratosphere.
That's another thing we do.
Really?
80 stories.
Did you guys have such fun time?
Yeah, we had a good time. Looking more forward to Mexico.
Okay.
Vegas is a little hard with teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
Who
No.
at that age want to party.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can't just do
But you can
little
go by the
kid
pool,
stuff.
right? And do all that?
Not there, it's so hot. We did we did bowling,
Oh, I
Top
just
Golf.
realized we'd have no lights. Was that by design?
You know what, I'm looking at pictures, it's actually better now.
I think it looks pretty good.
With them.
They're good low light cams on.
Decent.
Everything is more, especially that camera. Maybe because Stephanie sees that.
Am I meeting that guy at Arapahoe today?
I told him,
Yes, sir.
I said, Mark wanted you to see how it goes on your own, and then if it doesn't go well, let us know. He goes, well, when would be the next time you can meet? He said, we're not far from there at all. So
I'll
just
meet
let
him
us
at
know.
3 if he wants to do it real quick.
Oh, I'll tell him that,
He got
yeah.
me. He called Monday. He said his dad bought a car, $63,000. And then his dad went into the hospital, and now he's unconscious and all this stuff.
I thought he was going to go.
Are they going to undo it?
Yeah, they said they'd undo it, but
He was supposed
The
to go
kid
to
needs to go down there.
A
Right.
dealer, man, when a dealer gets a hold of somebody, God.
No. They said the car was back on the.
They never left.
You're not even
Right.
trying, you're not even
It was back
looking.
for
You're
sale.
You're not supposed to. It's supposed to be a blind shop. That's why I'm.
Is the Troubleshooter Show.
So,
Oh, forget it.
but you're just gonna take him there, or is he scared to go?
Yeah, that's me, and I'm so happy to be here for you, solving your problems, answering your questions, taking your complaints, discussing everyday life, the things that make you tick, and the things that tick you off. We want to be in your corner. All you have to do is call 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255, and we have a couple lines open for the first time today, so you can get right through, and we have so much to deal with today. We love helping people. Now, I want to tell you that right now, because the economy is the way it is, you will find a lax attitude when it comes to business in general, because people are busy.
At least here in Colorado.
Right. What does that mean? That means that they are so busy sometimes that you end up with bad service or lesser service. But even though things are great, people have to remember that when these companies bend over backwards when things are great, they're going to be even better when things start slowing down. You have to use a lot of wisdom in choosing people to do your work. And I have found a blasé attitude amongst many people in the service industry. But what you have to do is watch out. It's really important that you now not pick people simply because they're available. Oh yeah, I can start right away. I mean, that's not necessarily bad. I'm just saying don't pick just because of that. This is where a lot of people get ripped off. When things are going well and it's hard to get people, you get someone because they promise to do it quickly or soon or to get to you. And then you have to ask yourself, why are they not busy? Again, I'm not saying it's automatically making them bad. But what do you think about priority pricing? I'm all for it. A lot of people think it's a bad thing and they won't offer it. Some people think it's not worth it. What do you think about priority pricing? If you found someone you liked, everything else is the same, but there's an extra cost if you want it immediately. Do you think that's a good or bad practice?
I think it's great.
A priority price.
Why would it be bad?
A lot of people don't do that, but I think you get priority shipping. Why not priority pricing on services? Listen, you know, it's going to be 3 weeks to get to you for this floor, but we can put you in the priority line. I'm wondering how people would feel about that. Would you pay extra? I would sometimes.
Sometimes, definitely.
And I'm just wondering if it's something people should explore, priority pricing. Anyway, let's talk to Larry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I left off with Mark. I'll go back to you, Larry, in a second. They're both scams, so I wanted to get both of you. Mark, you were with this. Where did you meet? You feel this woman was maybe perpetrating a scam. Where did you meet her?
Well, I met her on a dating site, which number one mistake right there. I shouldn't have done.
Well, no, not all dating sites I would say are bad. A lot of people meet on dating sites and have good luck.
Right.
Farmers Only.
Now, there is one called Farmers Only.
There sure is.
Oh, there's a Millionaire Match too. Now you got to ask yourself, why in your right mind would any you know what they're looking for right off the bat if they go to Millionaire Match? Okay, so Mark, you found someone on what? I'd like to know the dating site.
Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish. Okay. Now, on this Plenty of Fish, did she introduce herself like fully? Did she lie about anything? What have you found?
Well, I found out she withheld a lot of stuff because then when I did the investigating stuff I've learned over the years listening to your show.
Yes.
She told me she was divorced. So I started sniffing around. Yeah, she's got a divorce on record with Wells County. But here's the spin, Tom. She's got her ex-husband living with her because he's got financial problems. Major red flag right there,
Oh, man.
Tom.
Wait, did you tell her you knew this?
Well, I didn't tell her I ran down her divorce decree.
But did she tell you she had an ex living with her?
She kind of sidestepped it for a while.
Well, how long did you actually date?
We dated for 2 months.
And during that 2 months, she started talking about buying a house?
She was talking about a house real fast. Then she said, I will not marry you until I have a house.
What did she mean, a house in her name?
Well, this is what she said. You know, I have money to put, I was going to put up money that I got for a house, but then I said the house would be in my name. She said, no, it'd be in both names. And so then she was telling me that when she divorced in Wells County that she had 2 properties. So I tried to run down the property.
And what did she say? What did she say she did with these 2 properties?
She claims they did whatever. Like when you're divorced, they had to split the assets. Okay, Tom, if you have a house and a rental, there should have been some equity money between 2 properties.
Well, I understand that, but what did she claim that she still had the house in the rental?
No, she said they were lost in quote her divorce with this guy who is claiming to be her ex-husband, who she's living with.
Man, that's a lot. You got a lot of red flags. How old is she?
She's 46.
And I just want to know her first name.
Marie.
Marie, okay. Does she purport to be from out of the country or anything?
No.
Okay.
She's here in the Denver area, Tom.
All right. So she met you, and you're still going out with her?
No. Once she found out that I wasn't going to, drop my life savings on a house, she bounced.
She said, I definitely want a house, and it has to be in both of our names.
Sounds like he dodged a bullet.
I know, but you'd think she'd be a little more subtle. I mean, did she profess her love for you? Did she at least try to pull off the scam in a credible way?
Was she giving you favors?
Yeah. Was she being?
Don't you wish people would come with warning labels?
Yeah.
Mark, what would yours say?
So, Mark, was she
highly intelligent?
Was she romantic, and was she playing the game?
I think so, because she was on me like a cheap suit.
Okay, so I guess she was. And so she kept saying, hey, Mark, we need to get a house. Did you say why the hurry about a house and all of that?
Well, she was crying the poor mouth that, here she was crying that she's paying $1,800 a month rent on an apartment. But then in the beginning, she kind of left it out of the spectrum that she's got her ex-husband living with her. Okay, so... But she was so focused on a house.
I know you're giving all the credit to Tom, but you really have guarded your heart, and you're a pretty smart cookie.
Yeah, you are smart.
The one thing she screwed me on, and I did a little homework.
Yeah.
I gave her a $5,000 ring, and by law she's supposed to hand that over. She said, and she must be a pro at this. She said to me, quote, by law, I don't have to hand it over.
I don't think she does.
You never asked her to marry. There might be an argument if he
we had
engaged.
I think we had a lawyer on one time who said that a gift is a gift.
It changes all the time. All we were talking about then was the engagement ring, though.
Right.
So
this woman's running a real estate scam, and she even got a realtor, because I even got calls from this realtor.
You mean wanting to set you up with houses?
Well, just wanting me to flip my house and all this other stuff, and I was like, wait a minute.
So you already own a house?
Yes.
So why didn't she ask to be put on your deed?
Because I may be a blonde, Tom, but I ain't that.
No, but I'm asking, did she want a new house, or did she want...
She went with the house.
He's cutting in and out.
Can you imagine $5,000 ring after just 2 months?
Yeah, Mark, you were pretty aggressive there.
My sister says it takes 90 days for the mummy to come unwrapped. Don't make any big decisions until 90 days. Yep.
And then you start seeing the real person. Mark, did you confront her about the ex-husband and say, I know you're living with your ex?
She told me, quote, this is what she said,
he's got what?
Financial issues.
But
that's not your problem. If you're divorced, divorce me, he's out.
Oh, my goodness. How could you even justify that? That's weird.
Right.
Yeah, I think you did dodge a bullet, as they say.
Dodge a bullet.
Well, that's good. Thank you for calling and letting us know. You got to, listen, I'd like to be able to put out a warning, but you would think that most guys would see right through that, right?
I always thought a #1 TV show, a cable show in anywhere, any city is, warning people about, have stories like this, and you put the person's name and just say, hey, be careful. And people would tune in. Do you know what kind of ratings that would be?
You mean like for love scams,
well,
like
I would
romantic
say,
scams?
Denver by poopers.
They got the one that's called Cheaters. That's similar.
Now,
no,
is that
but
still
this would
on?
give people warning about this is what this person did to me.
You're
and
right.
what do you
you're
think?
right. Well, you could do a
They
website.
have
You could do a
revenge
website
sites
like
like
that. Hey, do they really?
Oh, gosh.
Now, is the show Cheaters still on the air?
I see it flipping around the channel sometimes.
That show.
We also love Catfish. Oh,
Don't you
that
think
show.
it's fake, though, when they run up on people? Don't you
Catfish
think it's
isn't.
all scripted?
Now, Cheaters could, I don't know. I just don't know, but I love that show. Cheaters was so cool. I just thought, I love when these guys will get caught red-handed and they say, no, baby, it ain't like it looks. Baby, no, baby, it ain't like it looks. It ain't like it looks. I mean, what are you talking about? It's like, how gullible can you be?
No, there was a one with the Birdman. I felt so sorry for him and this whole catfish thing. I mean, listen,
that was horrible.
It was horrible
all
because
the time.
he was not guilty. I mean,
his roommate
he might have been
Keene Ranch.
He might have been guilty. Well, no, he did have a relationship online with that woman, but he didn't do anything, and he didn't have.
But the recluse in Canada that had been in her home for 7 years, never left, orchestrated the whole demise of this man.
No, you got to look up that story. That story was
it's on 2020.
That guy actually fell for this. There was a woman who was doing messages back and forth between him and another woman. She would intercept every message, and she controlled the entire relationship and had those two meet.
And neither of them knew it?
No.
No, they thought.
But she was underage, and
They thought they were talking to each other. Yes, they thought they were talking to each other. But this woman, I don't know why, but she intercepted the messages and then arranged for them to meet in Denver, where this minor flew in, and she was a minor, but he didn't know it. He had no idea. He had no idea.
It's unbelievable.
But it wasn't
Look up
actually
2020.
the Birdman. It was the roommate, right?
It was this catfish in Canada, but she was speaking for them and got them.
That's crazy.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Look it up.
But he didn't do anything wrong.
I know.
He didn't have porn on his computer. He didn't have anything wrong. That poor guy.
Chris Anderson, isn't that his name, the Birdman?
That poor guy was set up.
Oh,
it was terrible. All right, now, speaking of scams, we have Larry who wants to talk about a scam, and we'll talk about that coming up. And I want to tell you also about a gun safety class this Sunday. And I guess when you're out of the class, once you take this class, you automatically get your gun permit. Is that right? You get your concealed carry permit?
I think they sign off on all the paperwork.
And then you go and get a concealed carry
from the sheriff.
Right? All right. So we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show, okay? So I want you to stay tuned for that. And right now, I want to tell you about Frank Duran, the real estate man. If you're looking for a home, he has the buying side, he has the selling side. Whichever side you're looking for, you will never do better than that real estate agency and all of his team. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Even in a hot market, you especially need good people, really do, because there's a lot of money that is to be made if you do it the right way. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Then, of course, you need to finance that home. Or you may want to refinance. Here's what I love about Ideal Home Loans. They will write the loan for any term you want. So many people want that lower interest, so more of their money goes toward principal, but they don't want to go back to 30 years. So let's say they want to do a 22-year loan or an 18-year loan or a 17, whatever it is, you can pick your own term. They also have interest rate guarantees. So if rates go down over the next 2 years, or whenever you refinance, they will do it free of charge the next time around. That's idealhomeloans.com. And Ideal is for your next Ideal Home Loan. I say it all the time, and I mean it. Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000. That's 303-867-7000.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
There's quite a few trouble spots in the drive across town. Watch out for a wreck on the westbound side of I-76 at Pecos. Backups already died.
No, Thomas, yeah. No.
And he's big. He's still big.
He used to play, oh, you mean,
But
good?
Tom doesn't
Big
go
or-
to, Tom doesn't go to show you how these guys just, they're so.
there's still that crash.
I mean, like, can you imagine taking her out to DIA and then taking her home and then dropping her? That's kind of.
Oh, this poor guy though, $5,000 ring.
I don't know, what is that? What is that about?
With your traffic.
He said she was all over him.
I don't believe in expensive rings.
You are a Jersey. He's such a little cheapskate.
Yeah.
Remember the first time I ever walked into the bar? I thought, what a dump. I thought, gosh, Tom, man.
Who's Chintzy?
I'm kidding about Tom.
Oh, I said I wouldn't buy a ring like that.
What?
Well, not after 2 months. I was really lauding
Oh,
him.
you mean the ring?
I was like, way to go, not to get taken. And he goes, well, I did give her a
You ever seen
$5,000
her
ring.
engagement ring?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Everyone that's in a mile radius.
We saw it today, yeah. So,
My dad said, hey, Stephanie, pick up that ice cube.
remember, she moved in at 16, and I was barely 18, and I just got this cake route. So, we were hustling 60, 70 hours a week.
Were the cakes delicious?
Delicious. We didn't make them. We had a
They
bakery.
really were good?
Oh, they were anything Hostess made, we did.
Did they private label you?
Yeah, they were called Mountain Farms.
Really?
But listen, her engagement ring, I traded, you ready for this? I traded a Nintendo with 25 cartridges for it. That's how I got her engagement ring.
That must have been.
That's cute.
I'm done gaming. You're my game.
No, Griffin wouldn't have done that.
It was so weird because the only thing I didn't like about it was I was thinking, is it an omen because this woman got divorced? She was selling her ring, of course. But it worked out.
6400. That's 761-6400. ExcelRoofing.com. Also on my.
Did you sell those pink cakes? Pink
Snowballs, baby.
No, pink frosty and they had like angel food. Angel food cakes.
Ours were called
North Korea.
I don't like snowballs here.
No, pink with coconut.
Ours were called raspberry zingers, and the chocolate ones were.
Talk Station 630.
Oh, those ding-dongs.
All right, let's talk to Al Ramos at Pro Auto Care. Al, you have a special 5. I want to give the rules right now. 5 at each location, and the reason I say that, it's such a screaming deal. You're going to have so many people. So the number is 303 Pro Auto, and the locations. I'm giving this all up front so we can give it at the end. The special. So because it is really cool. I'm serious. You can't buy the parts for it. They're near Evans and I-25. You go just east on Evans, then north on Dahlia, or south of Bowles on Santa Fe, right near Arapahoe Community College. Okay, give the special.
So, Tom, I'm even going to sweeten it even more.
All right.
So we're going to do the Pro package. That's
Tell them what it is.
Synthetic blend oil change, higher rotation, and wiper blades on the front of your car in your standard sizes. I'm doing that for $26.95, but I'm going to sweeten it even more. Those same 5 callers, I'll do an air conditioning system inspection. We're going to check pressures. We're going to check the output. It's a great, great deal. You got to call. You got to book it today. That's for Martino listeners. That's a great thing.
It is. And, you know, by the way, that air conditioning check is a real deal because I had that done and found a problem, and I'm glad I did. I didn't realize how much cooler my system could get. So you get that AC check and diagnostic, and all the pressures and connections and all of that, plus
oil change,
synthetic oil blend, oil change with filter, and a tire rotation and wiper blades, did he say?
Yes.
Unbelievable for $26.95. That's why only 5 at each location. And the number to call, 303 Pro Auto. That's 303 Pro Auto. You know, I'm so happy that our plumber is getting such great results at Pure Water Choices, because I've always thought that was an area of ripoff. when it comes to water filtration. These guys would get in your homes. They would tell you your water's dangerous, or they'd sell you these overpriced systems that don't really work well, or just ordinary carbon filters. See, what I like about Al, the master plumber and owner of Pure Water Choices, he'll sit down and explain everything to you. The different kinds of filtration, whole house filtration or point of use filtration, and you're going to pay rock bottom prices. This guy is not, he's not a scam. This guy is for real. He'll also explain to you soft water and the benefits. No health benefits, by the way. That's why he does it. He wants to dispel all those rumors and all those myths. But if you want pure water, you got to call him. Because even with city water, you still get traces amount of medications and metals and sediment. Here's where you go. Here's where you call. 720-219-7818. 720-219-7818. You can find Pure Water Choices on my referral list, or go right direct to them, purewaterchoices.com. Okay, now, Larry wants to tell us about a scam. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
What's happening?
I've sent in an email to you guys.
Yep, I got it. I got it. So it looks like a priority mail label and a check.
Right. And a letter that was attached.
Now, let's see the letter.
Explaining how to deposit that check.
Yeah, and this check is for $2,800, man. $2,810, and it says this package contains a checklist, and you need to take some steps. And the attached, the check attached is for $2,810. That covers the assignment bills, evaluation costs, and your secret service evaluation commission of $310. So they want you
to purchase iTunes gift cards
with the money.
Right.
And then they want...
my wife found them, I guess, on Facebook.
Now, you're supposed to be, you literally, this is what they tell you. They tell you that you're being a secret shopper, and you're supposed to write down the store name, the name of the cashier. You're supposed to take notes on professionalism and all of that. It's a bunch of crap.
Look at the bottom. It says, best regards, gives a phone number, and then says, text messages only.
Right.
Right.
So,
yeah, I tried calling that number, and it just rings and rings and rings.
So
and then
they want you to obviously, deposit the check. When you go and buy these iTunes cards, they want you to send the cards to them, right?
Correct.
And then
what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to text them the PIN number on the back side after you've scratched off.
Right. They don't even want you to send it. That's right.
They don't even want the card.
No,
they just want that PIN number.
They're just going to process the cash, then they own it, and then you find out the check is bad. I mean, this thing reeked of scam. You knew that from the beginning, or you didn't fall for it, did you?
No, like I said, my wife had somehow come across without a Facebook ad that was out on Facebook.
Really?
I thought if a bunch of your listeners happen to be on Facebook and saw this,
I think we should all text this person. Now, is this guy Arthur that wrote to you, obviously Arthur Williams, not a real name, did you, and by the way, we should check this address too. Did you check it online? Mark, why don't you check
look it up, but it didn't come back to anything, so
well,
I don't know.
Google Maps is usually pretty good. Mark, why don't you do that? See what we come up with in Atlanta. So, did you text this Arthur saying, I know it's a scam?
I didn't. I tried to call the number to see if they would pick up, since they were saying they only wanted text messages.
No, there are numbers now that are text only.
Okay.
And they do that.
that.
Yeah. So did you text, though?
I haven't texted anything back. Like I said, when my wife had the package...
Well, why don't we play with this guy? Why don't you text something?
Okay.
Tell him, hold on. Tell him that you're at the store and you want to know if, let's see, they want you to pick, what do they want you to buy? iTunes cards?
Yeah.
iTunes gift cards.
It's an apartment complex.
But just iTunes, right?
Yeah.
Tell them that they also have Google cards, or not Google, let's say Amazon. Should you pick up some Amazon while you're there? or something.
Okay.
Just text. I want to see and hold. I want to see how long it takes them to get back to you.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Because I want to play this guy. I want to see what happens. Mark, these scams are unbelievable. Do you think there are people? Well, we know actually. What was that old guy? Remember him? $4,900 in iTunes cards.
Walgreens.
Why did he go to Walgreens and buy those cards? Do you remember him, Suzanne? That older gentleman.
He thought his grandkid. Got
Oh,
arrested.
and he went to Walmart. He bought $4,000 worth of iTunes cards. That was
he
so
thought
sad.
that would be
We almost got it too.
Almost. It
They
was
said we were
close.
about 2 hours later, else they could have canceled them.
Oh man, that's right. That was the one where that person felt like his grandson was in trouble.
I got a huge one I'm doing. I'm not going to say what dealership, but I'm meeting a guy at a dealership today at 3 o'clock. His dad bought a $63,000 car, and his dad has no money. It's very bizarre.
Well, was his dad? Is his
Well,
dad?
his dad's unconscious right now in the hospital, and he
Now
went
he
into the
is.
hospital a few days later. But Mark, I didn't
Was he
understand
in
it
his
as
right
no
mi-
money.
Was he in his right mind or what?
The son who called Monday said he was not in his right mind, but who's to
Did he
say?
have a stroke or anything? Was he like senile?
I think it's dementia. I can't remember
because
now, Tom.
That
but
means that could sometimes mean a lack of circulation
Well,
to the brain.
I'm hoping this dealership, I know who they are, I'm hoping they're just going to tear this thing up.
Bruiser says it was seizures that he had.
Seizures.
After the fact.
Okay.
And the car never left the lot.
Now, Adrian.
But hold on, Mark, there you go.
Adrian, you're next.
He followed the rules, and they had a deal.
Yep.
And you're using discretion to give this guy a break.
Hey,
Thank you, Steph.
Let's talk to Adrian. Hold on, guys. I want to tell you we do have a couple lines open. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Adrian, what's happening?
Hello, Mr. Martino.
Yes,
my name
sir.
is Adrian McCullough. This is my first time call.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. And I wanted to contact you about something that happened during my work at King Soopers off of Parker and I-225.
Okay.
Next to 9 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year, my Hyundai Sonata GLS, it got a fender bend. Fender bender.
Okay, but let's get right to the scam. So these guys offered to fix it while you're at work in the parking lot, right?
Yeah. During my lunch, let's see, mind my own business. Filling my gas to a car, which I saved up enough to pay my $500 deductible, and all of a sudden, this guy in a Dodge Batlander that talks like Harvey Firestein, he noticed my dent.
Yeah.
And he said he was offering to fix my dent.
Okay. Did he want cash?
Well, yes. And he said that he wouldn't take no for an answer. He was extremely pushy.
Wait. How much did he want?
Well, I hate to say this, but let's see. First off, he said 300, and then 500 because it was a little bit too damaged.
So did he make you go to the bank right then and get cash, or did he? How did he handle it?
Well, like I say, he was pushed. He was.
I understand, but how did he get payment?
Well,
did you pay him?
Unfortunately, yes, and I didn't know how to push him away. Because
I understand.
autistic.
How did you pay him?
With cash from the ATM at First Bank for my work.
Okay, so you went right there, right then. Yeah. Man, this guy must have been really pushy.
Yes, he really is.
Now, did you pay him the $500 up front?
Unfortunately, yes.
And then you went to work?
Well, it was still my work parking lot, yes.
Right, but then you went into work, though, and you were going to come out later and it was going to be fixed.
Well, how he said he fixed it per se, is that he put a little bit of spray paint, like blue and orange, just to cover it up, and then put some tape on it.
Did you watch him doing this, or did you come out later and discover it?
I watched him doing that.
Wait, you sat there after paying him $500 and watched him do this botch job.
Well, yes, and
he probably didn't realize it was a botch job.
Well, did you know it? You knew it was looking bad, though, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what did you say? Did you say anything to him, or were you afraid? Were you intimidated?
Mostly I'm afraid and intimidated. Yes.
Okay, okay. So you let him finish, and then what?
And let's see, on the 29th, which I was scheduled for work, he found me again.
Yeah.
And let's see, he asked for my name, my number, and
what did he want? Wait. You were not satisfied with the job, were you?
Well, here's the thing.
I just want to, Adrian, you got to be able to answer questions just one at a time for me if you could. The job itself, if I walked up to your car, would I know it had been damaged before?
Well, honestly, no, I wouldn't.
So you're telling me they did a pretty good job?
Not pretty much didn't do a good job. But he told me that he found a bumper that matches my car that will replace it, and a taillight.
But hold on, you already paid him to fix the body. And you said he did fix the body, right?
Well, let's just say it's half fixed.
Okay, but the part that he fixed, did he really fix it?
No, he didn't.
It looks bad, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yes.
And then he wanted to change the bumper and the fender. This guy, he figures he found a sucker and he wants to just keep going. Now, just tell me in a word here, quick, and I got to take a break, but I want to come back to you.
Okay.
Did you spend more money?
Just $100, but that's it.
Oh my God, this guy, and that was more. That was still cash again.
Yeah, he pretty much forced me to go to Key Bank.
What do you mean forced you? Well, hold on a second. We got to get to the bottom of this. Mark, this guy sounds like he was totally intimidated. It's sad.
I wonder if he knows any information on the guy.
It is sad. Oh, man. Okay, Paradigm Interiors is the place to go for your interior work when it comes to floor covering. You know, floor coverings are throughout your whole house. Let's face it. It's not only the first thing you notice, it's the first thing you touch other than the doorknob. When you walk into a place, beautiful floor covering says it all. And isn't it wonderful to have fresh new carpeting and keep it that way? Or tile? Or what about hardwood floor? Love it. Or you may want laminated hardwood, you know, the floors that look beautiful and they're a little less expensive. You can get vinyl luxury tile as well. They call it LVT. You can get waterproof carpeting. There are so many selections. Here's the important thing. To help you make those selections, you have the benefit of a design consultant at a place where you're not just a number. You will love the way it looks. You will love the way it feels. You will love their efficiency. Once you pick what you want, you will love the bid process, and then the installation, you'll have your very own job supervisor. All hand-holding done by Paradigm Interiors, flooring Denver since 2003. To find them, you just go west on Evans from Santa Fe or from anywhere, but after you cross Santa Fe, it's right on your right-hand side at the corner of Pecos and Evans. Beautiful parking, beautiful location, 14 years in business, and you will love the way they do business because you get the selection and pricing of a big warehouse, but you get the personal attention of just a small family store. 303-630-9204, 303-630-9204.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Rescue vehicles are on the scene.
Of a crash on the northbound side of I-25 approaching Alameda. Backups all the way to University, so it's a bit of a slow drive.
This guy does have information. He came to work
southbound at Alameda.
Came to his work.
Out of the way. Traffic flow is
Yeah, but he might have the guy's phone number or something. Does he sound totally intimidated? He sounds like he's
Like, come on.
special.
I think he thought it was going to be a good deal, too.
A little bit.
No one can make you do anything without your
He
consent.
sounds like, yeah,
No, I think he's special.
He sounds like he was really afraid, and he didn't want to say no.
Too bad you can't go undercover. Why don't you go over there undercover with a cracked windshield, get a car, and just go up there and let him...
You mean
Put those Elvis Costello glasses on.
It's body work, it's not a windshield, it's body work.
Oh, body work, whatever.
We'd have to have a dented car, that's a good idea. That is a good idea.
You should do it, Tom, and go
That
over there
actually
like...
is a good idea, to see if we can get, I look way too sophisticated, we'd have to send like Mark.
I'll take your Mercedes, though. We'll take it back to it.
I'll take him back to it.
No, Tom, you can find a beat-up car from Alaramas.
We'll take Dan's car.
Thank you.
You think he'd recognize you?
No.
Solution.
You should go. Let him work you over.
Well, the problem is you can sit there for a month and no one ever shows up.
Or you could get this guy to say, hey, I have a friend that also needs somebody.
Or if things feel out of control because you've just...
I still don't understand if the guy did anything or is willing to do anything.
Did he?
Well, I think he
He said he had to give him another 100 after the 5.
I thought he said he like taped it.
Only 100 more.
All
right, so $600.
You know, George Clooney sold his tequila business. You ready for this? $1 billion.
Wait a minute. Just deal with the IRS or
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Was it his alone or was he in a business?
Did you know that Uber has a valuation of $76 billion? The CEO stepped down today, or yesterday. Can you believe that Uber, $76 billion?
Mark and I could, I'm not saying, we literally could have a company worth billions of dollars.
Okay, Tom.
Get ready for the dream.
I can't believe Clooney just made $1 billion. And to me, this is just not right.
There's some cost in there, I'm sure. Yeah.
No, wait. But what I want to know is, though, is it just him? Does he own it 100%? I doubt it.
They don't mention anybody else, but he's going to get $700 million basically right now, and then $300 million over the next 10 years. So he's getting almost 3/4 of it up front too.
And free tequila for life.
Around here, the conversation never stops. Never. We're not kidding.
It's called
630 KHOW, the news talk station.
I've never even heard of it.
You know, I am so impressed with BioT that I tell all
my friends about it because I don't think there is anyone who will not benefit from this. BioTmedical.com is the website, and then it goes find a provider. You click on that. You see, it's a way to optimize your hormones. Not just replace them, but optimize them. If you're exhausted, tired, moody, irritable, lack of drive, your libido is low, you just want that youthful feeling back again. You can have it. You see, nature will just have you deplete all of your hormones, wrinkle up, and die. It doesn't have to be that way. You can do sensible aging, and you can do it with hormone optimization. We're talking about testosterone, estrogen, and thyroid. Now, they have the most natural delivery system known, and they have pellet therapy, which is wonderful. You know, you get this 2 or 3 times a year and you're done. You have to call for more, especially women. You can look beautiful again. Seriously, lose fat, build muscle, get energy back. Stop being exhausted. BioTmedical.com will find you a provider. You go there, find a provider. They're local docs that are affiliated and trained by BioT. I urge you to at least consult with one. BioTmedical.com. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Approval reverse mortgage to make your choice, your wise choice on whether or not you want a reverse mortgage. Trust me, they are wonderful for some people, and they not so wonderful for others. It's never really just bad news, but to really use it as a retirement tool, you want someone honest who can go over it with you and tell you the pros and cons, because it is money right now you can live on and never have to worry about paying back and never lose anything more than your home if you ever want. But you don't automatically lose your home. It's your home. If it goes up in value, you keep it. If it goes down in value, you never have to worry about it. Neither does your estate. 303-771-3528. 771-3528. ApprovalReverse.com. Let's keep going here. Now, Adrian, I feel sorry for Adrian, but it sounds like he was a little bit of a pushover. He let this guy take advantage of him. You know, you paid the guy money, you saw he was doing a bad job, then he tracked you down for another $100 and said, hey, what was he going to do with this extra $100, Adrian?
Well, here's the thing. He told to get more gas for his car so he can get the bumper and the taillight per se.
Okay, so he was going to get the bumper and taillight. Okay, did you pay him the extra $100? Yes. Did you get the extra stuff?
Well, no, I didn't get the extra stuff.
Okay. Where does this guy hang out? Do you have a phone number for him?
Well, he did. He tried to give me a phone number that I had him write down. It's like 720.
Oh, hey, don't give it to me right now. Not right now. So you do have a phone number for him.
Does he answer?
Yeah, it was a fake, but I did get his license plate.
Good. Oh, that is good.
That could be bogus, too.
Well, who knows? Wait, a license plate?
Yeah.
You wrote down the license plate. What about his phone number? Did you try calling it ever?
I called him, and it was fake. And I tried calling him, and that person said wrong number.
Okay, well, okay.
We can see fairly quick if the license plate matches the description of the car.
What kind of car was it?
It's a Dodge Badlander.
Okay, Suzanne, let's take Adrian's information along with the plate number. Let's try to help him.
Al should be able to put that in his point-of-sale software, the license plate, and we can see if it at least matches that description.
Really? We can do that?
Yeah.
You mean automobile shops, repair shops can do that?
Yeah, when I used to take cars in, all I do is put the license plate in, and everything would come up. Yep.
So okay, that's how these apps do it then. Where
It doesn't say who owns it or any registration information, but we can see if it's the right tag.
All right, let's talk about this gun class, Suzanne. What exactly is it? It's for gun safety. It's one of our clients on the referral list, right?
That's right.
And it's Sunday, Sunday at 9 in the morning.
Yes, it's this Sunday, all day, 9 to 4. It's a safety basic pistol class.
And it will be, how much?
Well, it's going to be free to the first person that emails us and that is interested in going. It is up in Arvada.
Okay.
So just so everybody knows.
So, in order to be number one, to get the free class, you have to email us. You have to email us, but we're not taking the emails today. We are going to take them tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So, tomorrow, at the beginning of the show, the first email we get after 10 o'clock tomorrow.
That's smart.
We will do a free class for you. So you have to email live@troubleshooter.com and request the free training class. You will get the paperwork in order to get your concealed carry permit after this safety class. And trust me, you want the rules, the handling, maintenance, storage. You're going to find out about manipulating guns, safe loading, unloading. You're going to learn about all the safeties, the controls, malfunctions, what to do, emergencies, and tactical reloading. So this is a comprehensive course. And it's going to be totally free to you if tomorrow, when the show starts, you email us. And in order for you not to use automated software, and in order for you not to simply send one, you're going to have to include a keyword that we give you tomorrow at the beginning of the show. So that's how I know that you truly deserve the free class. And trust me, it's a $100 class, $99.99, and we will give a keyword tomorrow, and all you have to do is send an email with that keyword in it, and the first one to do it will get the free class. Where is it being held?
Well, I know it's in Arvada, Tom. I'd have to pull up the address for you.
Oh, that's okay. It's in Arvada. We'll give details.
It's 5885 Allison Street.
So what do people do if they want to register? Where do they go?
If they want to register,
I have no information.
They can go. I would call at 720.
Okay, 720.
271.
271.
3267.
3267.
He's also offering a great special for the class for those who do not get the free one.
You know, he's on our referral list, and he specializes in the safety aspect of this.
No, that's the important part. Okay, guys, so remember that 720-271. 3267. If you call and happen to get the free one, it'll be fine. He won't charge you. That'll be fine. If you happen to be one of the free ones tomorrow. And we will give him the name of the free one tomorrow. You have to be listening when the show starts, and we're going to give a keyword. You use that keyword in the email, and you will get the free class. Okay, enough said about that. If you have a problem, question, or complaint, give us a call, because we have a lot more show to go at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. If you have a problem and you need help, Joseph A. Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. And I mean this sincerely. I hope you never need him. First of all, there is no reason ever to need him for a DUI, because it's so easy to get a designated driver, get someone to drive, or use public transportation, or Uber, or Lyft. It's that simple. I can't even believe people get DUIs. Now, if you have a real problem, you get a DUI, he'll help you too. He'll help you. He can also help you through the system if you're falsely accused. Now, let's say it's the marijuana aspect. He has helped people with that as well. You know, it's really difficult with marijuana. There are no real legal standards to go by, and you do need help. He can help you with this and other accusations of crimes. Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200.
This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm.
There's a few slow spots in the Highway Drive in the metro area, but for the most part, things are in fairly decent.
Democrats are so nuts.
Southbound Highway 287 remains closed between.
They just don't understand their tactics right now. We're just
So
tinnitus, and that's it.
Serious crash from this morning. There's a crash off highway involving.
Oh, and by the way, this site I'm looking at here says 48.5 to 52.5. What is that? 48.5.
At Monaco,
Like I
weather
said,
forecast. There's
You
a slight
said
chance of
four.
excellent
You said
thunderstorms.
6.
We could tie a
For
record
lunch,
high of
for-
99 today, though. Right now, traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner.
It was 2 of your moms and Ted's lunch.
What's that? What are you guys talking about?
One of the lunches you owe me, you now owe Dan.
What is that for?
A percentage bet on the Dems yesterday.
On the Georgia? You know what's so funny?
So, did it, you know, everyone thought that the Democrats were going to kill.
They
They pumped $50 million into it or something crazy.
Didn't the polls say
It was very close, but they thought the
Here's what I
Democrats would win.
think's happening. People don't want to admit what they're voting. They just go in and do it. You know, I'm telling you, man. People,
Oh,
they don't
people were
like
true.
They don't
People
like
were
being
terrified
told.
to say they like Trump.
They don't like being told
You're
what
exactly
to think.
right.
They're
They don't
terrible.
like being told what to think, how to think, what's correct, what's not.
Not to
And
mention,
this is the back.
But how about the fact the candidate they ran is 30 years old, he had nothing.
Yep, totally agree.
It's kind of like a long trip up to the mountains and back. Sitting here for 3 hours. You guys get stiff?
Online at American Finance.
No.
With your zip? And your coffee? Tom's sisters are so
Coffee.
funny. That's his sister.
That's a New York thing.
Now, Stephanie, we
Florida.
gotta get to the airport. I got my zip. She has her Ziploc with her boarding pass and her ID. But we gotta get to the airport 3 hours early so we can get our coffee and our breakfast and make sure our bags make it.
I swear to God, if you met my mother, you would think she was a sister of his.
Oh my gosh, I started talking like that after being around him for so long. I was talking like this. I was
Upstate
saying,
New York's
honey,
got its own thing.
honey, listen, honey.
Installation. That's why I endorse Champion right now. Okay.
Oh, honey.
Every Champion window and pay no interest or payments.
I got to do this video for the investment guys. I'm going to get that scheduled.
Well, wait, you also have to
Oh,
do
for
a...
APO? Yeah.
Did you hear about the lift? It was unbelievable. This
He was, oh no, he was on vacation.
no, he wasn't here.
We found a bunch of them, though.
Yeah, that he
Each bring your $500.
He knows about it. We found some ones after that.
Yeah, but this one was free, and it was automatic, right?
Yeah,
I don't-
all these
oh,
parts
Colorado,
are probably cost
I
more.
got one spot.
Still a nice gesture by all.
Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. That's all I have to say, and you'll know it's the best place to go for both tinnitus or hearing. If you have a
Hearing loss, sometimes it's accompanied by tinnitus, which is a ringing or a humming in the ear. Sometimes you just have tinnitus from nerve damage or something else. No matter what your problem, if it has to do with hearing, if it has to do with sound, if it has to do with your auditory system, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center can help you, and here's where they distinguish themselves from all others. First of all, audiologists Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa are among the first to get involved in tinnitus research. They also have Dysynchra, which is a wonderful treatment for it, and they actually say it's a permanent treatment. But once you use it, you get to keep it in case you need it in the future. And here's what I love about it. They let you try it out first to see if it works. They let you try out hearing aids, too. The home of test drives, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, 303-534-0163. Okay, we got more right now. Now, Richard has a question about driving. Richard, go ahead. What's happening?
Hi, Tom.
What's going on, man?
Tom. Yeah, so I just got a new job in a commercial Class B CDL driver. I'm working for a paving company, and when I got my pay stub, I went and told the lady in the office, "Hey, this doesn't match up with my numbers." And she said, "Well, what do you mean?" And I said, "Well, I don't seem to be getting paid my overtime." And she said, "Yeah, that's right. You don't get paid overtime unless you work more than 12 hours in a day." So I'm just wondering if this sounds right to you or not.
Well, overtime is calculated on a 40-hour week, generally.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Do you put in more than 40 hours?
Yes, more.
Okay. Is it a salaried position?
Yeah, it's a W-2 position.
No, I asked if it's salaried or hourly.
No, it's hourly.
Well, they can't have it both ways. So if you work less, you get paid less.
I get paid per hour.
If you get paid per hour, then anything over 40 hours...
You should get time and a half.
Right. Over 40 hours.
That was my understanding as well. So.
Well, that's the way it is.
Yeah, unless you're salaried. They don't have to pay overtime if you're exempt.
I'm not salaried, and I didn't sign any contract.
I'd call Sean Olson. I mean, he'll recover not only the overtime, but he'll get his own fees.
But he just started the job, so he might want to be a little more delicate.
Yeah,
but here's a company that doesn't want to pay him what he deserves.
How much would it come to about?
Oh, not that much. I've been there about 8 weeks only.
But how much overtime do you think you've had?
Probably 40, 50, 60 hours.
That's huge. Call Olson. He'll be able to recover his own fees.
Here's what we'll do. We'll get him on the air with Olson to see first if it's worth pursuing. Let's do that so he doesn't have to make an appointment or anything.
Oh, yeah, and Olson's in next Tuesday. Maybe I line him up for then.
Yeah, unless he can't wait. But, Richard, we'll look into this. Overtime is a really big and confusing issue because I often wonder, why is it you're allowed to hire people on salary?
But a lot of that's changed.
You mean you can't hire people now?
No, you can hire people on salary, but it's got to equal at least what minimum plus that half would be. And they have to be in charge and manage people now. Yeah, they've made a lot of changes.
So we have to go over that with Sean Olson.
Yeah.
He's coming in on Tuesday. That will be great to go over.
You can't just call like an assistant manager at McDonald's that doesn't have keys to the store or other stuff, a manager, and put them on salary that's a hair bit over overtime and work them 50 hours a week. You can't do it anymore.
When does that change?
I think it already changed.
Is that recent? Because
yeah, it's fairly recent.
All right, we'll go over that again with our employment attorney who's on the referral list. And we do have time for Marvin and even a few more calls, 303-713-TALK. Marvin, what's going on? Hi, Marvin.
Hey, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. What is going on?
Well, I got picked up a couple months ago on a nine-year-old warrant.
A nine-year-old warrant for what?
Yeah. Well, I had a dispute with a guy, and we were kind of going back and forth, and evidently I wasn't served any papers, so I didn't address it because I didn't even know it.
Well, when you say a dispute, was this a criminal or civil thing?
Civil.
It was a civil. How did the civil thing turn into an arrest warrant?
Well, because I didn't show up, because I didn't get any paperwork to show up.
You didn't show up for what?
For a court on a guy that was suing me.
But you don't get an arrest warrant for not showing up at court. You get a default judgment. It doesn't make sense to me, Marvin. You don't usually get, I've never seen an arrest warrant for not showing up for a civil proceeding, ever.
Well, I got one, and the judge, when I appeared 2.5 days later, but I guess my main thing was that when I got there, I could not call my wife, I could not call an attorney, I couldn't do anything.
We need to look up this case, and I need to get Joe Lazaro on. I'll tell you why. Because it's making no sense. No one goes to jail. Did he send you to jail?
Well, when they picked me up, they took me in.
No one goes to jail for a civil matter. So
wait. Did you have a failure to appear at something?
But Mark, you don't go to jail for a failure to appear at a civil proceeding.
I did.
You get a default judgment.
I did.
For what? What? Tell me the civil matter.
An employee of mine caught his condo on fire. Okay, they sued him. They garnished him. I didn't take the garnishes out of his paycheck as the owner of the company.
That's different. That's contempt of court, Mark. That's a whole different thing. Marvin, let's get you on tomorrow. Let's get him hooked up with an attorney. Listen, folks, thank you for being here. Don't forget, referralist.com for help and information and referrals. Save all your problems for me.
Yeah, I didn't show up for the court hearing. That's contempt. That's contempt. They put a bench warrant out me for failure to appear. And then they literally came to my house and picked me up. And I had to bail out for exactly what the judgment was against him that I didn't take out of the check.
That is terrible. How much was it?
$1,000. But
Mark,
I didn't end up paying it. When I went to bail out, you know, I went in front of the judge. I said, this is a corporate. This is Colorado Car Care. This isn't me personally. And the judge agreed with me, so I didn't end up having to pay it. But I did go to jail for like 3 hours.
But Mark, usually